And away we go. What's up, everybody? What's up, Angry Ginger Army? How's everybody doing today? We had to get on early today. We had to get on early today. Man. Well then. What are we going to talk about today? I mean, it's not really much in the news. Nothing to really talk about. I don't know. Maybe we'll just sit up here and just me talk. It's a good feeling. I mean, also, it is like watching the house burn down, but at least we got popcorn. Guys. Look, I made the joke. And yes, it was just a joke. And in every joke, there is a modicum of truth, guys. I said, wouldn't it be funny if this whole thing was just Elon Musk getting into the White House to sabotage the Trump administration? And yes, I know. It's not that. We know that this was just ultimately what was going to happen. But God, I mean, I don't know if I saw this. And I did say this. I said, our best hope with this administration was that this administration, with its many different factions, the Project 2025 people, the techno oligarchs, the conservatives, and the wild card that is Donald Trump. I said our best bet is for these people to start eating each other. And that's what's happening. It's Elon versus Trump. It's Bannon versus Elon. It's Elon's fans against the MAGA cult. It's Stephen Miller against Elon Musk. And don't forget, guys, a lot of these people that are in there because of Elon Musk. Lutnick is in there because of Elon Musk. The guy who was tapped for NASA, he just pulled his nomination, was in there because of Elon Musk. It is just the beginning, guys. It's just the beginning. But let's say hi. Let's see who's here. Let's say hi to everybody. Wow. Just wow. What's up? He Hurts wins number one. He Hurts wins number one. Broke Nina's streak. He Hurts with the number one. What's up, Alan? What's up, Wildflower? What's up, Robert? What's up, Tammy? What's up, Nana Gent? What's going on? It's because I was talking about Detroit in that last live stream, huh, Nana? Nana's here to set me straight. What's up, Kay? What's going on? Nightbot doing its thing, of course. Good job, Nightbot. Keep them under wraps there, Nightbot. Randy, what's up? What up, everybody? I'm an angry, freshly shaved head. I just shaved as well for this special occasion. I shaved it all. Nina, there you are. What's up, Nina? Kirk from over there on Pep Talks. Kirk, I've been telling He Hurts here, who makes beats, Kirk, if you want some beats, my dude He Hurts that follows me, that's your guy. Kirk makes music. If you guys don't know who Kirk is, and if you're into some hip hop and some music, you should go check out Kirk's channel. Kirk's got some good music over there. I'm a little too old, Kirk. But I like it. I like some of it for sure. I'm an old head. But Kirk makes good music, so you guys should check out Kirk's channel. Midas Kevin Anderson in the house. What's up? DJ Music, what's up? What's going on? Progressively Independent, what's going on? Dan Steely, Woke Mike. What's up, my defenders? My defenders of the left, the fighters, the ones who put in the work. What's up, guys? What's up, Troy Scott? Troy, what's going on? Let's see who else is in here. Roxanne, what's going on, Roxanne? It's Street Fighter Old Money Edition. I was hoping for some more. I was hoping more Mortal Kombat than Street Fighter. I want some finish him. I want some finish him. Maybe an animality. You know, is that what they're called nowadays? I don't know. I watched a kid play the other day, and it was an animality. I thought it was like a bestiality, but maybe that's the other thing. Is that the other thing? My Discord invite link expired. Of course it did, because I'm bad at this. What's going on, Paul? What's up, Paul? What's up, Jen? What's going on, Jen? What's up, Janelle? What's going on? What's up, Silent? Let me see if I can get you a Discord link. And push buttons. You guys know what happens when we push buttons. We push buttons, we get technical difficulties, we drink. Don't forget to stay hydrated, guys. I need you guys hydrated for this one. We got a lot to watch. We got a lot to watch, guys. What is going on with my Discord? Come on, Discord, you can do it. Discord's trying. Also, while I'm sitting up here trying to get this Discord link, don't forget, guys, to go sub over to this space. This space is the server or channel, sorry, YouTube channel that is going to be the home of many blue-collar, working man leftists that are putting in work and trying to create a space for those people. Hold on. I can't do two things at once, guys. I can't do two things at once. Let's get the Discord link up first. There's a Discord link for you guys. If you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. Talk to awesome people. Come hang out. He Hurts is in there. You get to see Silent Siren. You get to see Swift up in there. You get to go talk to some good people and have great conversations. So join up with the Discord. And also here, let's just do this. Let's get down there. Let's get down there. You guys know it's Trump versus Elon.
I love Tesla.
You know it's Trump versus Elon today, and you know that Donald Trump for the rest of his life is going to regret this comment.
I love Tesla.
He's gonna regret it, guys. So before we get going, let's go ahead and let's get to this space link in the channel. So I want you guys. These guys are starting here pretty soon. This is them here. Here we go.
They told me to be quiet, but I know enough that this is a genocide. We have been taught to just be complicit, and I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not afraid to speak the truth. They told me to be quiet, but I know enough.
And there's going to be a lot of different content creators on here. Here you go. Look at this. This is your lineup.
Thanks, Looney Tunes. By the way, Mike, how are you and Rebecca feeling now that you, Rebecca, and Leftist Mafia will be part of the lineup of this Space TV?
This is your lineup, guys.
LA letter hack related project.
Gonna have
I'm
a
excited.
lot of different guys
I haven't really talked about this. A channel called This Space TV, and it is basically 24/7 broadcasting of leftist content. There'll be Leftist Mafia on there. There's Rebecca's show on there. There's Humanist Report on there, and it's just a bunch of other people. It's just
look at the Angry
nonstop.
Ginger.
So, you know, if you have a family member that watches CNN and they just always have it on in the background, maybe you can
excited.
Put this on in front of them and get them to listen to that instead of CNN or something like that. I think it's a really clever idea. So shout out to Matt at the Letter Hack. You know, he is brilliant and talented, and yeah, good on him for doing this. Very, very cool project.
There you guys go. So this is starting up. Unfortunately, it's starting up while I'm on vacation. But this is it here. There you go. There you go. So that's this space. And we are going to all be streaming on that 24/7. Not just me. You guys couldn't take 24 hours of me. It would be bad for everybody. But we're gonna do the work, and we're gonna have this channel. This is Matt the Letter Hack put this together with Pastor Benjamin, the Leftist Mafia, and many other great creators. And I just happened to get in there. I don't know how, man. Shout out Pastor Benjamin for excuse me, for being the one that really opened the door for me. So shout out Pastor Benjamin for that. And yeah, there's many good people that are going to be on here. I believe that they're looking to start this up on the 10th of June. So just a couple days. And then hopefully when I get back in the end of June, I'll be able to be on here. I believe I'm looking at a Thursday show. And I hope you guys check it out because I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good for everybody. I started half an hour early. What's up, Ross? Yeah, I do watch a Leftist Mafia. Like I said, me and Mike might not agree on every single thing, but we agree on the fundamentals and we agree on some really important things. So, you know, I like the Leftist Mafia. I like those guys. I think they have good hearts, and I think they're really knowledgeable people, much more knowledgeable than I'll ever be. And so super happy to see them doing their thing over there. So don't forget to go to this space and sub to these guys. We're trying to do something. So one more time, there's the link there for you. That's the This Space link. And we're trying to do some working class independent media. And we're going to try and get along as well as we can here on the left. We're going to see what happens. But I think it's an amazing thing. So I want you guys to go check that out, sub up, and look for content from people like myself. All right, what do we got going on? What are we going to watch today, my friends? Oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. So we got Titus talking about the high times at the White House. We got, no, I don't want premium. We got Adam Mockler talking about an alleged physical brawl that was exposed within the White House. Now the clickbait gets me, guys. So we're gonna have to see if this is actually a physical brawl or if this is just hyperbolic. Shout out to my guy Tennessee Brando. And there's no physical fight that actually happened. But I believe in my boy Adam. I believe in Adam Mockler. I believe that Adam Mockler is going to show us that there was an actual physical brawl within the White House, and that's how Elon Musk got that black eye. So we got that going on. We got a little interlude for you from my boy JJesse Welles. Speaking of music, JJesse Welles dropping My Billionaire Daddies Are Fighting. We're going to watch that. That's a little bit of an interlude. We got my dude Cliff Cash. Cliff Cash. Funny as fuck. If you haven't listened to Cliff Cash's stand-up, it's pretty amazing stuff. In fact, he's got a story about his sister coming out as LGBT. And that shit'll make you cry and it'll make you laugh. But it's actually such a good story that, like, I was about to fucking cry listening to that shit. So, and then he ended it with making it laugh. So, real solid dude, Cliff Cash over there talking about passing out flyers about fascism at the White House. We got Keith Edwards, who you guys know I've been watching a couple videos of him recently, talking about Stephen Miller raging on TV about Elon Musk and his wife. We got Voidzilla talking about Bitcoin in the White House. We got some news, obviously, about the protests going on in L.A. with the people that are surrounding the federal detention center. I saw Stephen Miller claiming that these people were insurrectionists and that something like 40 people were arrested last I saw. We got the IHIP ladies talking about J.D. Vance and taking sides with Elon. I told you, the fighting's good, guys. The fighting's good. But let's start the video off the way that we said we start the video off. Let's watch some good content. Guys, I told you they're going to start eating each other. I'll be honest. I did not think it would happen this fast. I mean, we all sat here and we made the jokes, right? We were like, who goes first? Who goes first? And my pick was RFK Jr. Because I was like, he's the wackiest one out of all of them, right? But I didn't know, like, RFK Jr. is just, he's hiding behind the scenes, keeping his head low, putting out crazy-ass reports from fucking ChatGPT that don't actually have any, like, real links in them. Silent Siren, 10 memberships. Thank you, Silent, making the Angry Ginger Army strong. Thank you so much. Thank you, Silent. And also, everybody, don't forget to say congratulations to the Silent Siren for buying a first house. Congratulations, Silent Siren, on closing on your first house. Oh, Jesus, I got Discord up in the back. Here we go. There we go. Get rid of that. All right, guys. Susie, what's up, Susie? RFK Jr. is a hot mess. That he is. That he is. So let's get the show started. Let's have some fun. Let's have some laughs. Let's talk some shit. And let's get ready for this space. And let's continue doing the work, guys. Before we get to the video, let's say this. You guys saw Kilmar coming back. They brought him back. And I'm going to continue, to say this. You're going to get a lot of conservatives out there that are going to say, when he comes back, he's going to be put on trial for trafficking and all this stuff. It was never about a person, man. It was always about due process. It was always about making sure that every single person gets due process. These charges that he's coming up on, we all know about our justice system. We all know about how it's been used against, the people, minorities, people that can be, made into some type of pariah. So I'm going to wait to see what happens. But I don't have a lot of faith in our justice system right now when it comes to something like what's going on with Kilmar. But no matter what, the main thing that we had to accomplish in this was making sure that people deserve due process. Because whether or not there are bad people in the society, they still deserve their day in court. They still deserve to not be snatched off the streets by masked men and women. They still deserve the right to due process, because if they don't get it, it's just a matter of time until you don't either. So don't forget that shit. That's a win for you guys, man. That's a win for the community. That's a win for the citizens of the United States. You guys made this happen. You guys spoke out and didn't let this shit run under the radar. You guys spoke out and made senators fly over to El Salvador and try to get meetings with this man and the people that are holding him. You can't stop talking. You can't stop being loud as fuck. And I'm telling you right now, something that just needs to be continued to be harped on the left is you need to be unapologetic about how loud you are. I'll tell you a quick story, and then we'll launch into the videos. Let's go Big Me. The other day, I had somebody that had stolen some stuff from the store. This gentleman had done it pretty brazenly a couple times. Some of my employees had caught him doing so. And funny enough, this man was, stealing products, and one of my employees went back to watch a camera to see if he had stolen a product. While watching the camera, she watched this man take a juice squeeze packet and just chug it on screen and then throw the shit behind some products. So the other day, this gentleman happened to be in the store, and my employees came and got me. Said he's in the store, so, this guy is probably 60 plus, 65 years old. It's always old people in my store stealing. I don't know what it is, guys. But I grab him, I go, hey man, come outside with me, I want to talk to you for a second. I always do it that way. So I take him outside and tell him he has to leave. He pulls the whole, hey man, it's not even that much, don't worry about it. And I said, that's not the point. You're stealing from a small business, you're stealing from employees. You ain't going to shop here no more. So the other day, that gentleman came back, and he said, I want to talk to the manager again. So I walk out there, and this man's standing there, and I come walking up, and he says, what's your name? And I said, nope. And he was like, what? I go, I don't owe this person any respect. I don't owe them etiquette or politeness. I don't owe you my name. You infringed on the policies of the store that feeds the people that work there the employees, the owners that are active in the community. That person does not deserve my respect. And he went on to say he was sorry. And I told him he should be. And he went on to continue to try to manipulate me into believing that he hadn't been doing this for a long time. Now, I know that he has because I've seen the videos of him doing it. And in the end, he said, I just want to apologize. I said, I'm not the person to apologize to. You need to apologize to the people you stole from. You need to apologize to the owner of the store. You need to apologize to these employees. And that's not my job. And I want you guys to know something. You need to be unapologetic about calling this shit out. You need to be unapologetic about calling these people out. Because they don't deserve your etiquette. They don't deserve your respect. They don't deserve you being polite to them. That ship has sailed. That time is gone. And it is time to start holding people accountable. So good fucking job on every one of you that has stayed on the ground, 10 toes down, putting in the work and bringing back deportees for due process. Because that is extremely important. All right, guys. Let's go back down. Look, I remembered to push the button. I remember to push the button. Go back down to small me. All right. Pinkerbell, what's up, Pinkerbell? Pinkerbell in the house. Bandit in the house. What's up, Bandit? What's up, Kelly? What's up, LB? Take your ass home. My employees love me because I'm me. Because I'm not going to go out there and throw them under the bus. I tell every person that I hire, I say this ain't Albertsons. This ain't Costco. Like, somebody messes with you, you come get me and I'll handle that shit. Like, because it's about treating people like human beings. It's about treating people fairly. And if you can't do that, then you can't shop in the store. All right. Let's get to the fun stuff. Let's get to it. Let's watch this video of Adam Mockler, who says Trump threatens Elon after a physical brawl exposed. Adam, don't let me down. I want to hear the good shit. I want the tea, Adam. Let's hear the tea, Adam.
All right, folks, this article is blowing my mind. We have done a lot of Trump and Elon coverage on this channel while maintaining a balance and still talking about the big ugly bill, still talking about Russia and Ukraine and other topics. Adam. But this may be the best behind-the-scenes look we've gotten thus far, and this is the article that exposes what's been going on behind the scenes.
You good call on Adam. And that's why a couple things in this stream, there's going to be funny stuff, and then there's going to be the real stuff, right? Because you can't just be distracted by the sideshow. You can't be distracted by the clowns. There's somebody trying to pick your pocket. And we got to remember they're trying to pick our pocket.
Throughout all of this. So I don't want to waste any time. Let's jump right in. It's called Inside the Battles That Shattered Trump.
Look at the picture they picked. Look at the picture they picked. Elon just looking so sad.
And Musk's alliance. Trump called Musk a big-time drug addict in a phone call shortly after their public feud. There's also reporting that Scott Bessent and Elon Musk did get in a physical altercation. We've heard about this for...
I'm still going, Stephen Miller gave him the hook. My boss was saying to me that there's a conspiracy about celebrities or famous people that when they've been shamed, they all get a left black eye. Now, I don't know enough about that, so if you guys know anything about that, let me know. But it's a right side for him, for Elon. So I don't know if that's the one, right? It looks like it's on his it's on his right side.
Few weeks, but there is confirmed reporting that Elon Musk apparently shoulder checked Scott Bessent, or the other way around. We'll read it in.
With that big ass upside down pear body, if you get shoulder checked, he's not well proportioned. All right, most of the weight's up top. He's got some double D's, guys. They're really, really hot double D's.
Just 1 second. This says President Donald Trump was dejected, processing his very public split with the world's richest man. Rattled in the wake of Elon Musk's public attacks and apparent call for his impeachment, Trump worked the phones, debriefing close confidants and casual acquaintances alike. His former ally was a, quote, big-time drug addict, Trump said at one point as he tried to make sense of Musk's behavior. So Donald Trump was telling aides and allies that he had a big-time drug addict working in the White House side by side for the past few months. Not even the past few months, like 5 days.
Yeah, you know what I like about this? So Elon says Trump's in the Epstein files. We all knew that shit. I mean, this is the worst kept secret of all time. Trump is all over the Epstein files. So Elon comes out and says Trump's in the Epstein files. Donald comes out and says Elon's a drug user. It's like, we ain't blind, motherfucker. We already knew that. Like, who didn't know Trump was in the Epstein files, and who did not know that Elon Musk was a drug addict? Let me tell you who. Cult members. Cult members were just like, he doesn't do drugs. And definitely, Donald Trump barely knew. Donald Trump barely knew Epstein. He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, man. Like, you guys don't even know.
Days ago. Remember, like 5 days ago, they were standing right next to each other. Musk has acknowledged using ketamine, a powerful anesthetic, but the New York Times recently reported that he was taking so much ketamine on the campaign trail, he told people it affected his bladder. And he traveled with a pill box with medications like Adderall and others. But the president, who historically hasn't hesitated to fire off deeply personal, blistering social media posts, was more muted regarding Musk than friends and advisors expected.
That's because he got a lot of money to be Elon's daddy. This is like it's like watching an abusive relationship. Like Donald Trump, he was Elon's daddy to make up for Errol Trump. Elon was like 5 minutes from changing his name to Elon Trump. How much you want to make a bet? This is like watching. This is a falling out of a very abusive relationship on like live TV.
Expected. I honestly thought he showed an atypical amount of restraint for Trump. If you just put it in the context of how Trump acts, I thought he had a decent amount of restraint.
Troy Scott says, release the goddamn Epstein evidence. Let's see what's on all the tapes and garbage bags collected from his townhouse in Ireland. You know what's funny about that, Troy, is I see all these conservative people saying, if the Democrats, if Trump was in the Epstein files, which is not, that's not a question, that's an answer. He is in the Epstein files. If he's in the Epstein files, the Democrats would have released it in 2020 or 2016. How hard is it for people to understand that the Epstein files shit is not a political question? This is a question of people across the political spectrum. This isn't a question of red versus blue. This is a question of rich people that have so much access that they're desensitized to normal life, and they found a person that would facilitate for them the ability to get an erection again. Because you know there's no ladies in there. You know it's all fucking warped ass dudes. It's so dishonest of conservatives to sit here and act like Trump isn't in his Epstein files, and then to also act like Donald Trump hasn't been friends with people across the political spectrum that went to that island. This is what I fucking hate about politics. I've said this before. I don't give a shit what political party that these people are in. If they're on the left, if they're on the right, if they're independent, if they're politically homeless, if they have never voted for a motherfucker in their entire life. If you're in the files and there's some connection and there's some evidence, then it should be investigated. And something that I will say that no fucking Donald Trump cult member can say is that it doesn't matter to me if a person is put on trial for the Epstein shit and they happen to be politically aligned with me and they are found guilty, then good. And that is the difference between us and them. At the end of the day, I don't give two shits about a person's political affiliation when it comes to the safety of children. And yes, 14-year-old girls are children. Yes, 16-year-old girls are children. It boggles my fucking mind that people have taken a political stance on this.
Restraint given the moment, but the bar is in hell basically. But listen to how absolutely terrified Trump is of whatever Elon Musk knows. This says, the president, who historically hasn't hesitated to fire off tweets, was more muted against Musk. In the aftermath of his Thursday face-off, he urged those around him not to pour gasoline on the fire, according to two people with knowledge of his behavior. He also told Vice President J.D. Vance to be cautious with how he spoke publicly about the Musk situation, but it was too late because J.D. Vance had already said Elon was kind of going crazy on Theo Vaughn's podcast. I covered that earlier. But Trump is definitely scared. Listen, although the break between Musk and Trump only exploded into public view on Thursday, cracks in the alliance began to appear much earlier. As Musk's move fast and break things bravado complicated the White House's ambitions to remake American society, the billionaire alienated key members of the White House staff, including Chief of Staff JJesse Welles, and quarreled with cabinet members.
Oh, that's where Elon fucked up. You don't fuck with Susie. Susie's a savage.
Physically coming to blows with one. The account of the unraveling of the alliance between Trump and Musk is based on interviews with 17 people with knowledge of the events, including many who spoke on the condition of anonymity to talk candidly about sensitive conversations. So here we have the complete breakdown from 17 people close to the situation on what happened. White House officials say Trump has remained focused on his legislative and cost-cutting agenda, even as the battle between the two men has riveted Washington. The amount of lies in that one sentence, what do you mean cost-cutting agenda? Everything Trump has done is added to the debts, and I can almost guarantee Trump is not focused on any.
How much is Trump up to now? $8 trillion in his first term, and he's already at 1 point something now, right? So we're bordering $10 trillion for Donald Trump adding to the national debt already. By the time the big-ass ugly bill that steals money from the poor and gives it to the rich is done, we're talking $13 trillion in 2 terms. That's just with the big-ass ugly bill.
Anything in Washington, he's been thinking a lot about Elon Musk. We know this. He's been asking aides and people around him, was Elon on drugs? We'll read more about the phone calls right here. Behind closed doors, however, retaliation against Musk has been the topic of conversations among admin officials. Trump on Truth Social has called for public scrutiny of Musk's government contracts, potentially imperiling his business empire. And really quickly, last night, on Friday night, I went out with some friends, and this morning, I slept in. Now I feel like absolute shit. But we're still making the videos. We're still grinding out video after video. So if you appreciate, the post.
Look at Adam with a hangover. Adam's got a hangover. That's what I'm talking about. Dude, come on, man. You gotta drink ranch water, guys. This is not financial advice. You take yourself a little bit of tequila. Excuse me. A little bit of tequila and some sparkling water and some ice. No hangover. Not financial advice. Oh, one day I won't have allergies anymore. Bandit, thank you for the 10 memberships, Bandit. Thank you so much. 10 memberships, guys. 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Bandit. I appreciate you. We got to get Adam Mockler out. We got to teach him about the glory of the ranch water.
Post-party videos. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. Drop some blue hearts. But let's continue. Trump on Truth Social has called for public scrutiny of Musk's government contracts, potentially imperiling his business empire. Republicans, meanwhile, are wary of how the world's richest man could use his deep coffers to retaliate against them, especially as he floats along.
Yep, and Trump came out and said, if Elon Musk backs any Democrats, there will be repercussions. But I don't even know if that's true, because look at how much Trump has tacoed. Look at all the taco-like behavior from Donald Trump. Trump said, just after this happened, he said, Elon's actually really sorry for what he said. He's been trying to call me because he knows.
I love Tesla.
He knows I love Tesla. Like every time. Remember the trade talks, guys? Remember all the trade deals? Remember the trade deals that are supposed to have happened by now? Where are those trade deals at? Where are all the people that were calling? Oh, they're calling me all the time. They know they want the Trump. Dude.
Launch of a third political party, or even funding Democrats, which Trump said there would be very serious consequences for, which is insane. Very serious consequences for somebody supporting a political party. It's just very serious consequences for the thing that Elon Musk did to you, for you, over the past few months. Musk arrived in Washington in January as Trump's most powerful ally, spending nights in the Lincoln bedroom while serving as a top White House advisor. The first signs of trouble emerged in February when an email landed in inboxes throughout the government directing federal employees to describe their 5 accomplishments over the past week. We remember this.
Yeah.
Cabinet officials and other agency leaders
like
weren't given advance notice of the memo, causing consternation at the highest levels of the Trump admin. Remember, the FBI, Kash Patel, I remember Tulsi Gabbard, all of these people were saying, don't follow this email if you're in our department. So Elon Musk basically sent out an email, then every Trump...
Yep, and I said that. I said when all of this happened and you had certain people like Hegseth or whoever... Hegseth didn't do it. Was it Kash Patel? I think it was Kash Patel. And then the people he's talking about that said, no, you don't have to reply to this. I said, don't forget, not all these people like each other. There's so many different types of personalities in this administration. They are bound to eat each other. And that is what happened.
Admin official contradicted him and said, you don't have to respond to this. So when officials learned the email had gone out to some federal district judges who are not a part of the executive branch and others who had handled confidential information, the feeling grew that Musk fundamentally misunderstood the federal government or did not have the dexterity to maneuver through it. Despite the
No, he just used AI. He literally just used an algorithm to fire people's aunties, dude. Like, that's really all he did. He went in, used an algorithm, and then stole people's information, allegedly.
Trump and his deputy chief of staff, Stephen Miller, stuck by Musk's side. But Welles grew increasingly agitated. She was the one that called him a political liability. Welles seems to be a very solid political strategist behind the scenes. So, Welles grew increasingly agitated about clashes between Musk's U.S. Doge service and other admin leaders. She seemed to have spotted the problem. As Musk and his Doge team attempted to slash federal grants, dismiss federal bureaucrats, and shutter U.S. aid, he became a line of attack for Trump's political opponents, and for a good reason. At demonstrations across the country, signs read, "No one voted for Elon Musk," and protesters began to take to the streets. On April 1st, the first major referendum on Musk arrived. Musk had flooded Wisconsin with cash to boost the Trump-aligned candidate in a race for a seat he lost badly. A wake-up call for Republicans who began to realize that Musk had gone from political risk to political...
Yeah, and Susie Welles, like I said, Susie Welles is a savage. Like, you gotta be careful with that lady. That lady definitely, like, she'll talk to your manager, 100%, get you fired. So, you know that once somebody, like you might have people like Pete Hegseth or RFK Jr. or Kash Patel, all those guys that, like, really aren't, like, all that politically savvy and understand how things work behind the scenes, that might have seen what happened in Wisconsin and they might have been like, oh, whatever, like, you know, hey, everybody loses one or whatever. But Susie Welles, I guarantee you, saw that shit happen and was like, nope, we ain't gonna let this keep happening. There are people working against each other in this administration to get each other ousted. It's like Idiocracy meets Game of Thrones. Like it's like, instead of having like champions that fight each other in a pit somewhere, it's just mostly ouch my balls. But it's still there's a couple good players in there.
Liability. Quote, "There's a real recognition in the White House and on the Hill that the Elon
Susie
brand
Welles'
has
dad
become
is
a real
Pat
problem,"
Summerall?
one person said.
What the fuck?
At the same time, Musk, like many other business leaders, was growing disillusioned with Trump's economic policies. On April 2nd, when the president rolled out tariffs intended to remake the economy, Musk took to X to express his displeasure with the levies and called Trump's trade advisor and longtime ally Peter Navarro a moron. In private, Musk made personal appeals to Trump to reverse the...
He didn't call him a moron. I believe it was a Navarro tard or some shit like that.
tariffs. Trump did not comply, only relenting days later after a steep decline in bond markets. Not long after this, Musk's tension with Trump's trade...
You know that's why Scott Bessent got mad. Scott Bessent was like, money go down! Money not supposed to go down.
team devolved into blows in an altercation with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, said Steve Bannon, the influential right-wing podcaster. In mid-April, Musk and Bessent had gone into the Oval Office to make their respective cases about their preferences for acting IRS commissioner. Trump decided to support Bessent's choice. That disagreement was first reported by the New York Times. After Bessent and Musk exited the Oval Office and began walking down the hallway, the two men started to exchange insults, Bannon said, adding that Bessent brought up Musk's claims that he would uncover more than $1 trillion billion in wasteful fraud, which Musk had not succeeded in
not
doing.
even close.
Quote, Scott said, "You're a fraud. You're a total fraud."
Oh,
Bannon
shit,
said in an
son.
interview. Musk then rammed his shoulder into Bessent's ribcage like a rugby.
What? Oh, shit. Oh, just picture that.
It's like legalized comedy.
Oh, just picture that, guys. Holy shit. You think Elon was going for a double leg? You think that's what it was? You think he was thinking, he's watched a couple UFC events. He's like, I've seen him do this. This is how you do it. What the fuck? Oh, dude. You thought the first Trump term was wild. You thought the first Trump term was idiocracy. It's idiocracy part 2.
Player, Bannon said, and Bessent hit him back. "This is not where the black eye came from. This was months ago."
Bullshit.
And the report that this happened comes from
I'm gonna
Steve
claim it
Bannon.
was.
So while, yes, the Washington Post and the New York Times and everybody is reporting this, it is coming from Steve Bannon, but nobody has disputed it. So, to continue right here, Musk then rammed into his shoulder into Bessent's ribcage like a rugby player, Bannon said.
Yeah, read that again.
And
Read
Bessent
that
hit him
again.
back. Multiple people stepped in to break up the scrum as the two men reached the National Security Advisor's office, and Musk was shuffled out of the West Wing. President Trump heard about it and said, "This is too much," Bannon said. In late April, Musk...
Oh, Jesus Christ. When you know it's bad when Donald Trump is the adult in the room. When Donald Trump is the voice of reason, guys, you know that the clowns are out of control. Holy shit.
Said he would be pulling back from Washington to focus more on his businesses, especially Tesla, which was struggling. Musk said he would still be spending part of his time in Washington, and his Silicon
And those guys are like, the fuck you are.
Valley allies claimed he would still run Doge from afar. I mean, we're really getting a picture of genuinely a drug addict. I mean, we know this, but a deep drug addict, someone who is deep in the hole, like he is in the worst position he's been in his life, it seems like, I'm just guessing, and that coincides with him having as much political power as he could possibly ever want. This is insane.
Gall said, is there a top rope in the West Wing? If there isn't now, there will be. How long, guys? How long until there is a WWE ring in the White House? I've said this before, man, there's got to be CCTV cameras inside the White House, right? Like, there's got to be cameras all over that building. Let us see it, man. Like, come on. We have to suffer through this bullshit. Look, what is it? It's like it's a Nietzsche quote, right? Like, you know, Trump being in office is suffering, and, you know, happiness in life is finding meaning in that suffering. I may have, you know, made that up myself, but it could be my quote. We deserve to see the footage, man.
Musk's ambition is to colonize Mars, and having an ally heading NASA was a major goal for him, but Isaacman had made numerous political contributions to Democratic candidates, a liability, and an admin that prioritizes loyalists. That likely was not the real reason. Trump knew about the donation.
Ross Carson says, drug addicts have never gotten a worse rap. 2 men, 1 Oval Office. Oh, shit. Oh, what's happening, A? What's up, A? New TV show, Mega Fights, every Friday night. Like they used to have the USA Network Friday night fights, right? Like the boxing matches. Dude, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm willing to cut some people's Medicare if we could fund Friday night fights at the White House between these dipshits. I'm sorry. I know that there are people out there that's like, that's not very lefty of you. But look, guys, look, we don't have a lot of options, all right? You got to make the best of a bad situation. And yes, it is wrong to cut Medicare for poor people. But I'm just saying that, like a couple of you guys could do without. Like some of you guys are like pretty young and healthy, all right? Like for Friday night fights, I am sure that I can find a couple young people that are willing to forgo their health care for the option of watching these dipshits box each other in a ring. Like that's all I'm saying. I'm throwing it out there. Get the GoFundMe started, okay? Get the GoFundMe started, guys, okay?
I love Tesla.
Just more than a week ago, on the tech billionaire's final day as special government employee,
White House wives,
Sergio Gore,
up,
the director of the presidential personnel, armed Trump with printouts showing Isaacman's donations. Trump informed Musk that he was pulling Isaacman for the role due to concerns over his loyalty.
Yeah,
but Isaacman, in a weird twist of events, I watched an interview with Isaacman when this was all coming out. This dude is actually genuinely really qualified.
When Isaacman was put forth, I don't know his politics, but I'm pretty sure dude has actually done some shit, you know? And same thing, when he first came out and was nominated, I was like, oh, who is this moron? And he wasn't like somebody that I would probably be like super all about, but he was more qualified than the majority of the people that Donald Trump has nominated so far. And I know that's a low bar, guys. I recognize that is a low bar, okay?
And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do, either through the skin or in some other way.
I recognize that's a low bar. But I was like, all right, this guy ain't too bad.
Isaacman genuinely seems like he would have been qualified to do this, so Trump decided not to appoint him because he wasn't loyal enough.
In his age weight class.
Gore's role was no coincidence. The longtime Trump aide had clashed with Musk throughout the transition, disagreeing on recommendations for appointments. Tensions between the two escalated in March after Musk came to believe that Gore had leaked his story to the New York Times about a meeting in which Musk clashed with multiple cabinet members, according to...
Oh, you guys think it was Gore that gave him the black eye? Oh, dude, a new fighter has entered the ring. There's a potential that Gore was the source of the black eye.
A person with knowledge of the situation. Musk's suspicions were piqued because the story did not mention his criticism of Gore's office, the person said. Interesting. Gore made it known to others that he wanted to retaliate against Musk. When Trump decided to pull the Isaacman nomination...
I mean, you throw an O on the end of that name, you got Goro, Mortal Kombat. Just saying. The connections are there, guys.
The decision appeared to be a blow to Musk's ambitions in space.
Despite
the tensions that were mounting, Musk and Trump presented a unified front that day during a formal send-off for Musk in the Oval Office, where Trump gave him a ceremonial key and praised him as one of the greatest business leaders and innovators the world has ever produced. But I'm starting to wonder if Trump is even second-guessing that line. Days after, the acrimony between the men exploded on X as Musk attacked Trump's signature legislation, said the Epstein line. We know all about this part. Senior White House officials tried to play down the impact, insisting the president already knew where Musk stood on the topic, but Trump's restraint faltered Thursday during an Oval Office appearance as he told reporters he was disappointed in Musk and questioned the future.
Dude, he tried so hard. You have to. That's the one thing I'll say about Trump in this whole thing is, it did seem like, I don't know if Elon's got that good information on him or what it is, whether or not Elon and Trump had actually like formed like a daddy relationship, but it did like Donald Trump has no restraint. Donald Trump like gets mad at like the smallest of accusations. Like Donald Trump, every time he talks to reporters, is like one softball question away from being really upset with everybody, right? The restraint he showed with Elon Musk is kind of sus, guys. Kind of sus. I mean, he does...
I love Tesla!
But I mean...
...of their friendship. Trump said Musk's criticism of the bill was rooted in his concern that it would eliminate a tax credit for EVs that benefited Tesla. Musk denied that accusation and responded with a long tirade. In the hours after the blow-up, some in Trump's orbit believed a quick reconciliation was possible, gathering from their own interactions with the president and conversation with each other that he was open to, make amends with Musk. But by morning, those prospects had receded. Trump on Friday insisted that he had no interest in speaking with Musk, telling CNN and ABC reporters as much in phone calls, and also sharing that sentiment with advisors, according to a White House official. He told aides he was considering selling the red Tesla that has been parked outside the White House, a vehicle the White House said...
I thought that was just a meme. Oh, no. Donald, say it ain't so,
I love Tesla.
Oh, man. Oh man! Wait, how long until Byron Donalds is his next Elon?
Oh, look at my African American over here. Look at him.
How long, guys? How long until Byron Donalds is the next Elon Musk?
That had been bought at market rate in March after Musk displayed several of his vehicles on the White House lawn. I can't speak. I'm feel terrible right now. But to continue. Meanwhile, Musk continued to fan the flames, doubling down on his unsubstantiated claim that Trump was implicated in documents related to convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein.
Damn right.
He questioned what he had to apologize to Trump for and mused about launching an alternative party called the America Party. And that is the story. If you appreciate the breakdown, drop a like, subscribe. See you all in the next one. Peace out.
Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Titus, and this,
Oh,
for the thousandth time, is the Armageddon Update.
Hold on. Wow, you could really tell poor Adam there at the end. He was done. Adam had a hard night, guys. Adam had a hard night. It was obviously a tough one. Poor Adam. Do you guys know who JJesse Welles is? If you don't know who JJesse Welles is, let me go ahead and link this first, because I love JJesse Welles. I think he's amazing. You know, I think he's the type of guy that this time needs. The world needs a dude like JJesse Welles right now. But want to have a little intermission with you guys. Thought we would have a little intermission here and just, listen to a little JJesse Welles, because this song is called My Billionaire Daddies Are Fighting, guys. My Billionaire Daddies Are Fighting. He gets the big screen. Let's make sure we give him the big screen.
My billionaire daddies are fighting. Oh, the big dogs are getting divorced. And they're going out loud, they're going out proud. It's $250 million buyer's remorse. My billionaire daddies are fighting. And I don't know how I should feel. Will the custody, a little baby JD, still roll on over to Peter Thiel. My billionaire daddies are fighting. It's something that you'd never expect. Turns out the enemy of your enemy ain't a friend, he's just a stepping stone over the left. But he'll be pointing his money pretty soon, I'll bet. But anybody over there who will take a check, these billionaire types are persistent. Yeah, they're used to getting what they want. And it may sound wild, they're a little entitled. Then again, I never walked a mile in their yacht. Now it's never been a problem before, but now that he's getting dismissed, the first buddy's concerned and thinks we all need to learn the commander-in-chief's on everybody's list. My billionaire daddies are fighting. Yeah, I wonder what'll happen next. First the man became meme, now in the final scene he's gonna need to put an E in front of the X.
Oh! That's JJesse Welles, guys. That's amazing. Holy Jesus. Dude, JJesse Welles is the GOAT. When Jesse first came on, it was really funny. When Jesse first came on, I had a couple MAGA-type people send me videos of JJesse Welles. And I was like, I don't think you know who Jesse is. Because I had been listening to Jesse for a little bit. That song, War Isn't Murder. I saw him when he first came on, right? Like one of his first songs came up. And these MAGA people were sending me these videos of JJesse Welles because they were anti-billionaire at that point. That was 5 months ago. 5 months ago, before Elon Musk joined, they were anti-billionaire, and they would send me these songs, anti-big pharma, right? And so they send me JJesse Welles videos, and I was like, I don't think you know what those words mean, because JJesse Welles is not exactly the Trump type, guys. Definitely not. Anyways, that's JJesse Welles. Go check out JJesse Welles. He's amazing. That's probably one of the funniest songs I've heard in a while. I just wanted to have you guys get a little intermission, guys. A little intermission. Let's give him one more time. Here you guys go. Yeah, back when they hated Elon Musk and electric cars. Exactly, Dan. 7 months ago. You know that. Yeah, it was so long ago. Yeah, Woodrow Guthrie. Exactly, Golf. That's what I'm talking about. I was like, he's giving the vibe. He gives Woodrow, okay? He gives Guthrie. I was in the grass for like 4 seconds yesterday and it got me. Yeah. Dude, I'm not saying that word. I'm not saying that word. Dude, up here, it's about the ticks, man. Out in the forest. Like, fucking, you be getting them ticks, man. I'm scared to death of ticks. And ticks freak me out, man. Ticks are so gross. That's what I worry about. You walk through the tall grass, you get some ticks on your legs. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Well, anyways, that was Jesse. That was Jesse for you guys. A little intermission. I wanted to have a little bit of intermission between the videos, between the Jerry Springer. We had to break it up a little bit. So this video, this is Keith Edwards talking about Stephen Miller raging on live TV as the wife scandal escalates. Once again, guys, these videos, we're trying to figure this out. We're trying to figure out who was it that gave Elon Musk that black eye. Because whoever it is, they deserve some type of compensation, some kind of reward. That's all I'm saying. Maybe not Stephen Miller. You know, he's got a lot to work. He's got a lot of work to go before he's back in reward town. Like, he needs to spend some time in hell for like an eternity, and then maybe after eternity in hell, he could get like a reward for punching Elon Musk in the face and giving him a black eye. But not now, not right now. But if it was like, I don't know, maybe like Basent or whoever this Gore fellow is, maybe Goro gave it to him. It's a possibility. Anyways, here's Keith Edwards. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna find out. Well, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, Jesus. I pushed the wrong button. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. This time I got it. I got it this time, guys.
Well, of course, Elon was high the whole time. Okay, finally. We finally have a reason.
All right, Titus really wants to play. We're just gonna play Titus. Wait. Ah, I'm pushing all the wrong buttons. All right, hold on. Going back. All right, we can do it this time. Technical difficulties, guys. Drink! Oh, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who's my tech guy? My tech guy keeps messing things up, guys. He's fucking this tech guy. I got him off Fiverr. He's terrible at his job. One more time. Keith Edwards on Stephen Miller, guys. One more time. Fucking tech guy, man. Out of control over here. We'll just push the goddamn button ourselves.
Stephen Miller is back in the news, this time on live TV, railing against Elon Musk after Elon Musk took his wife.
I gotta help out my Twitch friend. Your neighborly sheet poster. First of all, good name. Okay? Over there on Twitch. Thank you for being on Twitch. He says, Angry Ginger, no hair, false advertising. I'll do you a favor, neighborly. I'll send you a picture of my balls for confirmation. Okay? All right? We'll make that happen. They don't call us fire crotches for no reason, neighborly. The hair I do have. Oh, I do.
If Elon Musk did something online that proves that this story is very much so real, I had that
only for money, neighborly.
And I also have right now that ICE has been conducting raids in Los Angeles. These are raids that are at the behest of Stephen Miller, who is, according to Vanity Fair, has said that Donald Trump's mass deportation effort has been lagging behind his goal. His vice president, J.D. Vance, at one point forecast 1 million deportations a year this term. The administration hasn't only been...
Dude, this is what I'm saying. Trump supporters can't do math. Like, I know that the whole idea, you guys have probably seen this, but who is it? It's the guy, the former guy from Blackwater has been advising Trump that he should privatize the deportations by having like a group of mercenaries, pretty much, right? One of these Blackwater-esque groups where they deputize citizens to remove these people. The only way that you would have that amount of deportations, which puts the lie to the whole, like, you can't have due process for all these people, right? Like, they're not deporting 1 million people. So when Trump says, how are we supposed to give all of these people due process? How is that supposed to happen? Are you going to have 1 million trials? First of all, the answer would be yes, because due process is important for all people, regardless of whether or not they're criminals or not. Everybody deserves due process. That's kind of how shit works. But other than that, it's just when you hear they're going to have, 400,000 deportations in the first 3 weeks, it's like, no, you're not. Like, I can do math. I know that numbers and statistics exist that I can look at and be like, that doesn't make sense. You can say it's not impossible, but you can say it is implausible, okay? Like, the chance of getting that many people out within the boundaries of the Constitution is just like, is not really plausible. It's not. But you guys know, with every Trump supporter that comes through here, they're like, Donald Trump's a god. He can make it happen. He's just going to snap his fingers and poof, they're gone. We all know that Trump knows solutions to problems, guys.
And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do, either through the skin or in some other way.
Yeah, dude. He's obviously a fucking genius. He's a genius, guys.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Fucking genius, guys. Don't forget that.
Been well behind that lofty number. They struggled to keep pace with the removals last year when Joe Biden was still president, and have called on migrants to self-deport to help boost their stats. So Stephen Miller...
I like that. I like the Trump administration's way of doing shit. They're like, there's no fucking way we're going to get this done. What if we just asked him to leave? I do have to say, though, one thing, like, was, what was it? What were they offering him? They're offering him like $1,200, right? Was it like $1,200 or $1,400? Like, that's actually kind of spot on with Americans. Like, there's probably a couple Americans that were like, hell, brother, you give me $1,400, I'll leave. Like, you know, there's a couple, like, people in the Appalachians that were like, $1,400, shit, brother, that's a lot of money. Fuck, man. $1,400, it buys a lot of Mountain Dew. I don't know, I'd probably leave. Shit, I might do it. Is he offering it to us?
Miller is failing at the one thing he wanted to do, the evil deportations that he's been trying to enact have actually not been able to happen because the Trump administration, though they are fascist to a core, they're also very incompetent. And in order to make fascism...
Oh, gee, just the way you said it. Not only are they fascists, but, you know, they're also incompetent. Holy fuck! We live in such a strange fucking timeline, man. Jesus Christ. Like, in the history books, imagine the year is 2084. Imagine the year is 2084. Your kids are going through high school history. And the line is, not only was the Trump administration fascist, but they also happened to be incompetent. They were incompetent fascists. They were like if Hitler met Idiocracy, met like Handmaid's Tale, and then tried to do Elysium. It was a strange time. It should just say that in the history books. It should just say, it was the dumbest timeline that ever existed. Holy shit.
You kind of need to have some competence. It goes on to say in Vanity Fair, he has demanded recently that Immigration and Customs Enforcement makes no fewer than 3,000 arrests a day. And we're seeing that happen in real time as Stephen Miller is railing against Elon Musk because Elon Musk took Stephen Miller's wife. Stephen Miller...
I like the way he says it again. He didn't say she left to work with him. He said took Stephen Miller's wife. What's the chance, guys? How many kids are Elon Musk up to? How many kids does he have now? Like 15? Is Stephen Miller's wife going to be mama number 16? Is she going to be the mother of Azibadabadabadibidabao, the third? Child number 16? Is there, I wonder if there's a DraftKings bet on that, a FanDuel bet. I bet there is. I bet there's a bet right now. Somebody look this shit up. See if there's a bet on whether or not Stephen Miller's wife will be the next Elon Musk baby mama. I might be willing to put some money. This is not financial advice, just so you guys know.
Miller's taking it out in the rest of the world and the country.
Look at you guys. 13,
yesterday,
14. 14 seems like it.
In
All right.
Los Angeles. Here's a bit about that. Hundreds of protesters rallied in downtown Los Angeles late Friday afternoon, condemning the ICE immigration raids that took place at
this actually just happened today, right?
3 different locations across LA earlier in the day. The protest did remain pretty much peaceful. I have really shocking footage of ICE running over a protester who was trying to stop an illegal arrest.
Some sort of
hell of a
smoke
cliffhanger.
to help.
Oh no!
Try and keep those people from the gate here. Okay, so here we are. We're in the middle of the street here. You can see one person trying to stand right in front of this SUV here, but he's gonna. It's just such a dangerous situation here. And it's really not going to do him any good to be standing there and possibly get ran over by agents. So
I'm talking about the guy in the car.
Here they are. They're on 9th Street now. Crowd is running alongside with these vehicles. And I pretty much guarantee that this SUV is not going to stop. Someone throwing, looks like. All right, let me widen out here. Okay, so we saw some eggs being thrown at the vehicle. Now he was just
come on, man.
Partly ran over by that SUV.
Dude, you don't hit somebody else.
And
bro.
there goes.
Oh,
it looks like a bicycle was also struck in the crosswalk here. So just a dangerous situation. It doesn't.
And this is what I'm saying. When people say shit like, it drives me up a fucking wall to watch citizens say shit about other citizens in this like fucking area. It's like, it's a protest. These are fucking ICE people. There is no reason that you are in that big of a hurry. Like, you could have fucking, you could have radio for backup. You could have stopped. Like, what the fuck, man? And yet there'll be people out there like, he should have got out of the way. Shouldn't have been in front of the car. Like, people will fucking just roll other, like, fucking average citizens under the bus to cuck themselves for these motherfuckers. Like, that shouldn't happen to anybody, man. Like, that's fucking nuts. Jesus Christ.
I have to say, I'm so sorry that happened to that protester, but I loved hearing that reporter saying that they were throwing eggs at the truck. This is exactly what we should be doing. And I think it's despicable that MAGA was laughing about it. They said LMAO, a left-wing protester, tried to block an...
Yeah, exactly what fucking sheet poster just said. That shit didn't happen in China during the Tiananmen protest. The tank stopped. This guy didn't. Like, what the fuck is wrong with our government, dude? And if you're watching that and you're like, well, he should have got out of the way. That's like, you have to understand, that's a slippery fucking slope. If you sit there and you say to yourself, it's okay for that person to get ran the fuck over during a protest, you know that you're only a few, like, instances away from people being abjectly harmed by police officers and them claiming that they were in the right. Like, there's a moment that was really strange for me. My uncle was a captain of CHP, my aunt as well. And when George Floyd died, it was so visceral that I saw them and other police officers coming out and denouncing what happened to George Floyd. Like, saying, I saw conservative people say that ain't right. And I was like, there you go. That's like, thank you. Thank you for fucking being a human. Thank you for having humanity. Thank you for recognizing. And then, of course, you get all these people going, hey, he's a drug addict, he was a criminal, all that shit. It doesn't fucking matter, man. Every person, regardless of their criminal history, deserves to be treated in a certain way by our police officers. If we do not hold the officers of the law to a certain amount of accountability, it is a slippery slope that ends in authoritarianism. Look, there are good cops out there, and there's a whole lot of fucking bad ones. because it attracts a certain type of person, because the psychology around being a police officer does not lend to having patient, helpful people. It takes a certain type of person to follow through with what police officers are actually supposed to be. And unfortunately, they are few and far between. If you defend shit like this, then you are giving a pass to people like the cop that killed Michael Floyd. Or I'm sorry, Michael Floyd. I think that's a football player. George Floyd. To continue to abuse their power and have those behaviors. There's no way that you can defend what just happened right there.
ICE SUV transporting illegals and got ran over in the process. And as someone else said, you are cheering on the United States government running over a U.S. citizen. How pathetic are you? Pathetic. I am happy to be on the side of the people who are defending those who cannot defend themselves. And history has shown that when you defend people who can't defend themselves, you are more times than not on the right side of history. We're on the right side of history with this sort of stuff. And this is not normal, what is happening. It's not normal what is happening. And it's only because...
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. So when we talk about Kilmar getting brought back, I recognize the human element of it and the people that are cheering for him to not be convicted in his trial. I understand that part, but I don't want people to lose sight of the fact of how important it is that he's receiving due process. Now, whether or not, like I said, whether or not he's going to be given a fair shake, we know about our judicial system. We know about our judicial system and minorities specifically, and we know about Trump's judicial system. When you have something like what he just said, this is not normal. This is not normal. It's very important for people to continue to fucking say that. Because the reason that Kilmar Garcia is being brought back to even be given a chance at a trial, fair or not, due process, fair or not, is because you guys spoke up about this, because you guys, you weren't silent. And a lot of times people think they're not doing anything. They think, man, I'm not actually, like, what are we doing? We're just talking about it. Like, is this even doing any good? But there are, like, legit positive outcomes that have happened in the past 5 months. I know it seems like 10 years, but in the past 5 months, from you guys speaking out, from content creators making content and saying, we're not going to let this be swept under the rug. You guys know, right, that if you weren't talking about this, if I wasn't talking about this, if people weren't talking about this, shit would be 10 times worse right now. The only thing that is stopping this administration from running motherfuckers over in protests are people talking about it, videotaping it, saying this is bullshit. That's the only thing keeping this from being fucking just, you know, cops being able to do whatever they want. That's what the George Floyd thing was so fucking important. Because people saw it. Because some young lady busted out her phone and said, this ain't right, and took a fucking video of it. If it wasn't for that young lady, you wouldn't have any reforms that we had during the Biden administration that Trump rolled back. So just keep talking, man. Just keep being fucking loud. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't feel like you haven't done any good, because you have. You've done a good job, and there's a lot of fucking work still to be done.
Stephen Miller is a crazy person, and it's only going to be intensified because Stephen Miller has now personal, interrelational dramas that the New York Times and CNN are both reporting on. And what has happened now is that Stephen Miller was unfollowed.
Yeah, Mod said Trump wants cops to have total immunity. I remember having this conversation with some conservatives before the election, and I remember saying, I was like, so like you trust police? Like 100% trust police? And the dude was like, no, I don't like police. And I was like, wait a minute. So you don't like police, but you're voting for Trump? And he's like, yeah. I was like, you understand that Trump is trying to give complete immunity to police officers, so that way they can never be sued civilly, so that way they can never be sued criminally or taken to court criminally. He wants to use the government's lawyers to defend police officers in these cases. He wants to make it harder for people to bring these cases or not at all and give them complete immunity. And the guy was like, no, he doesn't want any of those things. And literally during that time was when he had said that he would try for complete immunity for police officers so they could not be taken on to trial criminally. And I pointed that out. And the guy was like, nah, he's not going to do that. It's fucking insane. These people will do whatever mental gymnastics are necessary to make their cult leader, okay? I said this the other day on, I was talking shit on Tim Pool's comment section. And I said, I get it. You guys say that the Epstein files, that the Democrats didn't want to release it because Trump isn't, or the Democrats would have released it if Trump was in it. I go, but the reality is Trump is friends with people in those Epstein files, and there are people in the Democratic Party that are friends with people or that are Democrats that are in those files. And it's really sad that you can't get out of your cult long enough to recognize that. I know you want a hero. I know you're desperate for a hero, but Trump ain't no fucking hero, dude. He ain't a good person. He's not, like, they have created this facade in their mind about this caricature of Donald Trump being a hero. He ain't, dude. He's one of the fucking worst, man.
By Elon Musk. Real quick, this message is so important. If you can hit
what
like
up,
on
Dr.
this video,
Don?
it really does help boost it
Elizabeth,
up into
did I
the
say
algorithm
hi?
so
Hi,
more
Elizabeth.
people see it. If you can, please do that. It's a big help. Here is Stephen Miller raging on Fox News at Elon, as Aaron Rupar says here, tough scenes for Katie, because this is Katie Miller's husband going after her boss.
Oh, good.
She left him for to work for.
Access. I have never in my life, as a Republican, seen an easier question than whether or not to vote for this bill. It's everything conservatives have said they've.
God, he's fucking annoying. Holy shit. Who the fuck is friends with this man?
Always wanted.
Yes, absolutely. And in your tweets and memos also, I want to get you to make this point because it's so important. This is not an appropriations bill. This is not a...
Dude, what you want to make a bet? He's got bodies in the basement. He's got bodies in the basement. Okay? Also, maybe Ben Shapiro needs to talk to his wife, okay? Maybe Ben Shapiro needs to have a word.
Yeah, you effin' with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word.
Yeah.
P-word. P-word is female genitalia.
Also, I bet he hears this song a lot. I bet you Pee Wee German hears this song a lot.
Who explains sexual harassment to you and me? Sexual harassment, panda.
General budget bill. This is a special reconciliation bill.
Yes.
You can't. It fences off. You're really only dealing with entitlements and tax.
Bro looks so pent up. Dude, he is so pent up. Katie ain't touching that D, dude.
Taxes, basically.
Correct. There's this myth out there that we could do the Doge cuts in this bill. There's a separate process for that.
So Stephen Miller here is never going to mention Elon Musk by name, but Stephen Miller is very much so talking about Elon Musk, and this is all directed towards him. So keep that in mind. When he's saying Doge cuts, that is who? Elon Musk.
This vote is leading it.
That's right.
It's called rescissions. And I know it's wonky to talk about reconciliation versus rescissions, but those are the Senate budget rules that we have to live by if we want to pass a bill with 50 votes. And
yeah, he don't want Elon to be, he don't want that spotlight.
Not 60. But what we do have, again, is the largest welfare reform in history, in dollar value, by attaching those work requirements to Medicaid and food stamps.
Sure, no, because it's a mandatory program, and therefore
it's mandatory, not discretionary.
I don't think Elon understood that. All right, I don't want to get into all.
He said he doesn't say Elon, but other dude was like, I'll say Elon.
all that stuff. I just don't think he ever really understood the difference.
I don't want to get into all of that stuff. Wink, wink. And look at Stephen Miller laughing his ass off comedy. He's like, oh, hell.
Between reconciliation. You're going to come back. Look, I've had a bunch of senators
he liked that.
You'll come many
German
times
like that.
to the well. You'll come take more.
And this, by the way, this is such a side note, but I'm going to point this out. Stephen Miller and I are the same age. We're the same age.
What?
Yeah, no. Dude. shit, man. That dude could have been in Nazi Germany, 100%. He might be that old.
Do what you will with that information. I can't believe we're the same age. I actually think he might be a year younger than me. Here's all I want to say about this is I just hope they both lose. I don't care who comes out on top. In fact, I hope none of them come up on top. But I just hope that they continue fighting each other. Now, CNN is reporting that everyone is talking about this in the White House. Everyone is talking about it. And the New York Times, when writing about this, talked to a divorce coach in Miami that said breakups, even in business or platonic relationships like the one between Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk, can have ancillary.
Elon Musk about to hand Stephen Miller's wife a cup of semen. Because we all know that Elon doesn't actually get to have sex with these women. Can you just imagine how weird and awkward that is? If you a lady and Elon Musk is like, I was the other day thinking about you, and I made this cup actually for you. So that way, maybe if you wanted to, like, you could take this home and put it in your vagina.
P word is female genitalia.
Mm-hmm.
Effects on others in their orbit, whether they like it or not. Usually people want to stay away from it. They don't want to deal with the drama, Mr. Garcia said, adding that, quote, they feel like they're pigeonholed to pick a side, and overwhelmingly the way it works is that the person that does a lot of speaking is where they go. And so I just want to remind you all too that this is not the first time we've been through this. Do you remember George Conway and Kellyanne Conway? I mean, this was Donald Trump breaking up a relationship, but they did eventually get divorced in 2023. And now we have Stephen Miller and Katie Miller. Katie Miller leaving to go work with Elon Musk. Can you tell me if you think that this is...
Hold on. Unknown Variable says, there's a guy that makes vids comparing the Trump cabinet to Nazis. He did side-by-side pics. I don't know if it's doctored, but damn, it's scary how they look like famous Nazis. Look, I just finished, guys. All right. I'm a big fan of... I watch is it glowing? It's kind of reflecting. The Wheel of Time, okay? I've been reading Robert Jordan's books for a long, long time. Just finished The Wheel of Time. You know what that gives me? That gives me Wheel of Time, okay? That's like the weave is spitting out another, it's Goebbels coming back, all right? If you guys haven't watched The Wheel of Time, first season's slow, second season's good, third season's better. Just saying. And if you haven't read the books, you should. They're great books. They get bad in the middle, but they get better at the end when Brandon Sanderson takes over. Kind of gives me Wheel of Time, okay? That's all I'm saying. It seems as though maybe those Nazi scientists have been spun back out into the weave, okay? That's all I'm saying.
This is going to end up any other way than the way that we think it will. And I'm just going to be sitting here and watching it all as it happens. I will say that one thing that has happened in the past 24 hours is that Trump said, I just wish him well to Elon Musk. Elon Musk said likewise. And then Elon Musk deleted a series of tweets where he asked why should he apologize, and that he would apologize when the Epstein files came out. And he also deleted that original tweet that was the bomb about how Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. So
yeah, but if you go to his Twitter, actually, he did not delete tons of other tweets. I mean, it'd be pretty hard. He's tweeted like 1 million fucking times since this happened. But I went and looked at that because all these conservative people were like, everything's okay now. Everything's fine. There's no fighting going on. It's totally cool now. And I was like, are you sure about that? And when I looked, dude, there's tons of tweets still on there claiming that it's not the one that says, you know, the big bomb is that Trump's in the Epstein files. That's why I won't release them. But there's still like the one that says like people who hate Elon and people who think that Trump's in the Epstein files, and it's like them shaking hands. Like that one's still on there.
This thing is still simmering. I feel like they're probably going to try to make nice. We'll see. I don't think a drug addict and a sociopath can make nice for long. This administration is incompetent. And if they're dealing with interpersonal drama, as that report showed, they're not able to enact the awful policies they want to enact. So let them fight. I hope both teams lose.
Yeah, like I said.
Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please hit like on the video. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.
Want to let Keith finish his outro there. Like I said, the best case scenario in this administration is for them to fight enough that you don't see them capable of enacting the things they want to enact, right? So we don't want to see the Project 2025 shit pushed all the way through. We don't want to see the techno-oligarch people pushing their shit all the way through. And we all know that Donald Trump actually is not. Like, he doesn't, the only thing he cares about is the big, beautiful word tariff. That's it. That's all he cares about. He cares about telling people about tariffs. It's a cool word. I've been using it a long time. It's like groceries. I made it up. You know, like, that's all Trump really cares about, is just like being able to like have his time in the spotlight. So, you know, like, he just wants to have like the military parade and shit. And like the really scary stuff, obviously, is the people surrounding him. So the more infighting there is between these people, the better it is for America. Hopefully we can get through this 4 years without like too much damage. You know, obviously already we fucked our you know, trade partner alliances, so that sucks. And there's already been a lot of damage done. So, you know, maybe I'm fucking wrong, but I can tell you this is like, it is hopeful to see these people fighting with each other in a way that keeps them from enacting the absolutely fucking dystopian policies that they want to enact. So let's hope it continues in this manner, and we get through these 4 years with these people not accomplishing half the shit that they want to accomplish. All right. Okay. Titus has been trying to play like a million times. Yeah, Talia, you should definitely watch that. It's a good show. It's also, like I said, great book series. Like I said, it's a little wordy in the middle. But you should check it out. Leon had a failed penis enlargement surgery, didn't he? I don't know if that's true. I don't want the words Elon and penis in my search history, Golf. Someone else is going to have to do the work on that one. I'm sorry, but I am not looking that up.
Who explains sexual harassment to you and me? Sexual harassment, panda.
Golf, you're getting sent to HR. Trump is fighting with Leonard Leo too. I didn't know that, but there you go. That's good. Leonard Leo fighting with Trump is also really good. We like that. We want them all at each other's throats. We don't want them cohesive. I don't think they can be cohesive, to be honest with you. There's not really a way for them to be cohesive. The only way for the Project 2025 people and the tech oligarch people and the MAGA cult to have any kind of like real cohesive like idea would be to pretty much say, we're all going to stick together until we can destroy the country or take it over, and then we're going to, you know, parcel it up between ourselves, because that's really the only way these people can exist together. Trump is not a uniter. Trump is not a person that holds together, like, you know, a business. He's not the type of person that steps into the middle of a confrontation and like tries to fix it, like takes two people and arbitrates their disagreement. Like, he's not that person. He thinks, and I believe he said this before, he thinks it's actually really important to play people off of each other and to create competition, because he thinks the strongest person rises to the top. I mean, that's probably why Elon Musk got the boot, was probably because he was seen as not being the strongest person in these social confrontations with people like Basent or with Stephen Miller or with Susie Wiles, who probably, to be honest with you guys, probably the toughest motherfucker in that administration is Susie Wiles' wild ass. But, you know, that's probably why he got the boot. And anybody that's ever been a part of a company that, like, acts that way, where it's like we pit people against each other and the cream rises to the top, knows that that's not, like, a long-term way to keep a company together. It's a good way to, like, find individuals that possibly can like branch off and do things on their own. And that's what I'm saying is like, that's how you end up with this like parceled out United States, where you have factions like the religious faction of the Project 2025 people and the techno faction of the oligarchs, and then the idiocracy faction of Donald Trump's people as well. Let's see. My man grew up in East Germany, says the U.S. is now the same. Dr. Don, he probably is not wrong. at all. Because I just got done watching that documentary on Netflix about the Cold War and about East Germany and West Germany. So, yeah, we're getting to a point where there's some real concerns about whether or not at one point or another, we just banned 12 countries, right, from coming in. The real concern is at what point do they start saying that you can't leave, like with this real ID shit and stuff like that. That's the stuff that's like starts to get to a scary point. So East Germany was like that. You don't want to be there. That's not what America is about. It's not what America was founded on. America, has a very complicated past, but when we talk about like the foundational beliefs of what I think the entirety of American history is based on, it's the attempt to find freedom and the right to be able to do the things that make you happy in your lives as long as they don't harm other people. Like that, it's taken a long time to get somewhere near those ideals, and now we're just rolling America back. So that makes me quite sad. Let's see. Yeah, Nightbot goes to sleep for about 7 minutes at a time. Nightbot every once in a while is like, oh yeah, I've got a job to do. I forgot I got a job to do. All right, so let's watch Titus. High Times at the White House. High Times at the White House, guys. I hope you guys are ready for this one.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
I hope you guys are ready for this. It takes a lot to pop up over these bars that people like Donald Trump set. All right, and they are doing a phenomenal job of setting new bars to reach.
Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Titus, and this, for the 1000th time, is the Armageddon Update.
Titus seems tired. I understand, bud.
Well, of course, Elon was high the whole time. Okay, finally. We finally have a reason why someone would go full Third Reich and then watch ghosts and fairies fly in the old...
Now, hold on, though. Hold on. We gonna blame this on the drugs?
Oval Office.
Look at his ass, dude. Somebody called him on that shit and he got so mad. He's like, bro, I said once a long time ago that I used ketamine for depression, and now people say it happens all the time. Like, motherfucker, you high. You are so high right now.
He's flying the Oval Office.
Look at this shit. Look at that shit.
This guy is just one large bank account away from this guy. And how many of us have woken up after a long ketamine 3-day weekend after decimating government services and screwing the poorest people in the country? And we're told by our friends, dude, you would not stop heiling Hitler.
Oh my God.
So Elon's now gone, and $2 trillion has been cut by the Doge team.
We can do at least $2 trillion.
Wait, hold up, sorry. Actually, nothing was saved by the Doge team. In fact, as of June 3rd, 2025, Doge has claimed to have saved $180 billion. An analysis by the Partnership of Public Service estimated these savings will actually cost taxpayers $135 billion.
That's that good Trump math, guys. That's that good Trump math.
And that's just in 2025 alone. Other analysts found billions of dollars in misaccounting, and some of the money spent was spent at dispensaries. However, they have...
What? What? No. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Dude, it's like when you go with the you're out, like, you work at a corporate job. You guys know how you get like per diem shit, right? Somebody gets a company credit card and you're out with like a mid-level management guy, and he's got a drug problem, and he's like, bro, we gonna go to the strip joint. We gonna go to the brothel afterwards. We gonna get some cocaine. It's gonna be great. And you're like, how are we gonna pay for that? He's like, I got the company credit card. And you're like, I don't think that's a good idea, Bob. I don't think that's a good idea. I think they're gonna see. And he's like, nah, they don't care. They don't care. Then you get pulled in the office about a week after you get back. They're like, so you went to the Moonlight Bunny Ranch? And you're like, that was Bob. That was Bob. What the fuck, man?
Really cool merch. So the guy in charge of finding fraud and waste fired all the guys who were in charge of fraud and waste because he knew that, well, they couldn't find the fraud and waste that he could find. And then he spent 4 months finding zero fraud and waste. In fact, of the 110,000 Social Security counts that they went deep on, they found 2 weird ones. Not 2,000, 2. That's statistically zero. So once again, the Republicans took something that was working fine and shit the bed horribly. In fact,
hold on. What the?
Republicans took something that was working fine and shit the bed.
Oh no! Oh no! Look at the maid, dude. Oh, the maid. That is amazing. This is the only thing AI is good for so far, guys. Talia says job reports came back with 38K new jobs. Yep. So every week I get information from one of the largest distributors in the country, right? About the current atmosphere, the current place that the country is in. And every week it tends to get a little bit worse. And that's because, I've said this before, when people were like, super happy about the jobs reports at the beginning, they're like, yeah, no, like it's actually like jobs are really up and like inflation is coming down and unemployment levels are pretty much the same. You don't understand how statistics lag and how companies prepare for things. So because of how unstable this country has been for the last 6 months, right? A lot of companies didn't know what to do. A lot of companies were doing pretty well coming out of Biden's presidencies. A lot of companies actually thought Donald Trump was not going to do the things that he was saying he was going to do, and they thought he was just bullshitting. They were believing he was tacoing. And so a lot of companies were adding jobs for the first 3 months. A lot of companies bought a lot of products in the first 3 months once they recognized that Trump was going to start tariffing stuff. So when you front load the statistics with a bunch of people and a bunch of products being brought into the country and a bunch of products being sold because people are buying these products before tariffs, you create these artificial numbers that look really, really good. The problem with that is that we've all been forecasting this, and that is that in the month of June, the tariffs would start to hit home. We now have a report coming out of New York that shows that over 50% of all companies that were asked said they have passed 100% of the tariff on to customers. And it's something like another 30% of those companies also said that they passed another 30 to 40% of the tariffs on to customers. Remember Trump saying you won't pay any more for these items. The companies will eat them. That's not true. They won't do that. That's not how anything works. Donald Trump has no fucking idea what he's talking about. So when we talk about 38,000 jobs, and it's as low as 33,000 jobs, and we also talk about the farming jobs also being a dismal report, you are looking at the potential over the next couple months of fucking catastrophe. And it's not just left-wing people saying this. There are conservative economists that are like, bro, this is stupid. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? And all the people telling fucking Powell to cut the interest rates don't understand how that fucking works. You cannot cut interest rates when you are forecasting higher unemployment numbers. You are forecasting higher inflation by end of year. It doesn't matter what inflation looks like right now. Because the reason that you're seeing a reduction in inflation is because you're seeing a reduction in demand. The reason that prices on eggs have gone down is not because of anything that Donald Trump has done. Well, I mean, I guess you could say it is because something he's done. It's because consumer sentiment is the lowest that it has been. It's the second lowest percentage ever. Therefore, people have bought less eggs. I buy eggs for a job. I can tell you that though there are more eggs now, and those eggs now have older dates on them because less people are purchasing them, it is still extremely chaotic to buy those eggs. It is very hard to determine whether or not you're going to get a full load or almost none at all. People are pulling back on purchasing because they are scared. People have been fired en masse and continue to be fired en masse, and those numbers are going to catch up. And we are going to have a huge fucking problem here in the next couple months if this administration doesn't get its shit together and recognize that they are playing a fucking scary game with the lives of Americans. They can burn this shit to the ground. I know it may not seem like it, but it is a distinct possibility that over the next couple months that the American economy can go straight into the fucking toilet. And guess what? We could take the entire globe with us. This could be bad, bad. So, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. The 38,000 jobs. I hear what you're saying.
Horribly. In fact, let's go over all...
Mod, when you say eggs are still super expensive, one of the things that people don't understand, and I just want to make myself clear on this, when I say eggs are cheaper, I'm talking about than last month. They are not cheaper year over year. They are still 2.5 times the price of what eggs were in May of last year, or April of last year, because that's the last numbers that we had. Eggs are still 250% higher than they were last year. They're still almost 3 times higher than they were at the best price of last year. And to make it even worse, we've stopped talking about the avian flu or reporting on those cases. So, yeah, when I say that egg prices are cheaper, that is relatively. That's like saying gas prices are cheaper when it's $5.35 and now they're $4.90, right? Like, it's still not good. It's just that Trump people will say egg prices are cheaper, but they're still super fucking expensive, and everything else around it is going up as well. Energy is going up around it as well. The only thing that has been going down was gas prices, and that probably won't continue as we move into the summer. Those prices will elevate as well. So, yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
All Trump has destroyed in just 4 short months. You ready? Deported legal residents. Yeah, not MS-13 like he said. People here legally. Then denied the Supreme Court, making him bring them back. You know, violating the law. And the whole premise of America. ICE is going into neighborhoods and is deporting mothers after they obviously Photoshop MS-13 tattoos on those mothers. They went after our best colleges because they won't teach what Trump wants them to teach, you know, which would be against the First Amendment. Went after law firms that proved to a jury that Sweet Potato Hitler was a criminal 34 times over. In fact, the only category Trump leads as for presidents is in felony conviction. He gutted the FAA planes crash.
And don't forget, he is still a felon. He, no matter how many other federal felons that he pardons, he cannot pardon the state crimes. Therefore, he is still a felon every day of his life.
Gutted HHS, measles is back. Cut the weather service. No more warning for...
Yep. What is it? So just so you guys know, there has been 76 cases of human avian flu, too. And that's, like I said, that's without reporting. We don't know if they're reporting cases or not anymore. There are 76 cases so far this year of avian flu in humans. There was over 1,000 cases of measles with over 350 outbreaks. An outbreak being more than 13 people in a certain area. Over 1,000 cases of measles. Last year, I think the total amount of measles cases was like 250.
Tornadoes, more people dead.
Year.
Cut FEMA, so no more help for tornadoes after the tornadoes or floods or hurricanes or wildfires. In fact, why don't we just say no more help? Your tax dollars pay for that help, by the way. He gave Doge access to government payment systems, and they cost us $135 billion with a B? They also took women's rights and are arresting and jailing mothers who miscarry. You know, making women take a dead fetus to term, killing some of those mothers. You know, like Jesus Christ would do. Stopped all federal grant funding, stopping infrastructure projects, stopped pediatric cancer research because, you know, billionaires kill children. You Democrats better get serious. Stop writing strongly worded letters, Schumer, and say what is. Republicans kill children. They tried to end birthright citizenship. You know, violating the Constitution you say you love. Closed USAID, the government program that helped us worldwide. Yeah, it gave other countries aid, so we had goodwill from those countries. It was called soft power, and it was cheaper than bombs and bullets. Oh, and the medical and food aid saved lives. Because of USAID.
Yeah, not to mention that the aid also stopped certain types of issues. I just saw this. Is it Dole? So in Panama, they've laid off their entire banana workforce in Panama because of protests and other problems. I forgot what it is. And I think it was, no, sorry, not Dole, Chiquita. I think it's Chiquita Banana. Dole probably owns Chiquita Banana, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's true, but I could look that up. But they laid off their entire workforce in Panama. Panama is one of the largest producers of bananas for America, right? I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was Linda McMahon the other day. And was it Linda McMahon? No, it was, God, who was it? Fuck. Is it Lee? Who was it that they were asking? But they said, what is the tariff on bananas currently? And the guy said 10%. And they said, so Walmart has raised their prices on bananas by 8%. And he said, yeah, you're going to be tariffed on things that are from outside the country. So if you want to get around those tariffs, then you got to build farms here in America. And the person goes, we don't grow bananas in America. We can't grow bananas in America. It's like, these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's insane how many of these people don't know what they're talking about. But the reason I was saying that is because USAID also helped with stopping blights. There's a banana blight. There's a citrus blight. There's a cocoa blight. Like, the price of cocoa has went through the roof in the last 10 years. Like, through the fucking roof because of black rot. There's a green blight on citrus in Florida to the point that it's incredibly hard to grow it there and not profitable. Like, the whole reason that something like USAID exists is to make things in America better by using, like you said, soft power or good faith capital to get people to invest in America because we help them, right? So we help them to fight off the black rot on these cocoa crops, and then we get a better trade deal out of that. Like, it's not fucking rocket science, man. It's insane that these people have done what they have done to our government. They aren't helping you. They aren't helping me. They're only helping themselves. They are picking our fucking pockets.
We were the good guys, but Trump stopped it all with Afrikaner ketamine cowboys' help. So now, not only did they open the door for our enemies to step in and take over in those countries, but around 300,000 people will die this year from lack of medical support and no food. Billionaires kill children. And the Republicans in Congress voted to kill children because Republicans kill children. And if you voted for these Republican billionaires, you support killing children. Whereas the Democrats took them to drag brunches where they heard show tunes.
Right.
You kind of see how that's a little bit better. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. God damn, man. You know what? That's it. Democrats, would you get some balls and just start saying it? Billionaires and Republicans kill children. They actually vote to kill children. Republicans kill children.
And there you go, guys. Like I said, unapologetic. I said it earlier in this video. You do not owe these people politeness. You don't owe them etiquette. You don't owe them being the adult in the room. You don't owe them you going high when they go low. What you owe them is calling them the fuck out and saying what they're doing is destroying America. That's what you owe them. And you don't owe them that. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the people around you. You owe it to the people that didn't vote for this fucking bullshit. That's really the moral of this story, is that the left has to stop being apologetic, stop being so self-critical, so analytical about every single thing that happens within their party, and start pointing out the bullshit that's happening in the other party and do it loudly and unapologetic. Because what's going on right now isn't normal. It is insane. There shouldn't be protesters getting hit by cars in Los Angeles. There shouldn't be people being ripped off the street by people in mass and then deported without due process. There shouldn't be a president having a Twitter blow up with his boyfriend and the potential of what national secrets being shown on Twitter because we're having a lover spat. We've done a pretty good job so far. But when I say we, I mean the people. The politicians, they got a long way to fucking go. Because right now, they're not going to get the respect either. They're not going to get the politeness either, and they're not going to get the etiquette either. They also deserve for you to be loud and say to them, you better fucking do something or you'll lose your job. All right. Where are we at? Oh yeah. I want to. How much time do we have left? Oh, we got time. I've been wanting to watch this one for a while. What up, mountain bike? What's going on, buddy? Oh. Here we go. I've been wanting to watch this video for a while. I've been wanting to watch this one for quite a bit. When did it come out? Like last week? 9 days ago. Susie Jones, thank you for being here for 2 months. Good company here. You guys are the best company. I appreciate you guys. I wanted to watch this because I haven't been watching the CoffeeZilla for a minute. People yelled at me because I kept calling him Voidzilla. They're like, bro, his name is CoffeeZilla. Voidzilla's a channel. They don't call you Angry Ginger Live Clips. Like, okay, I'm sorry, all right? Fuck. So CoffeeZilla, I wanted to watch the CoffeeZilla for a little bit because this Bitcoin shit is wild. If you guys haven't watched the More Perfect Union video on, we went to a Bitcoin conference, you should watch that shit. It is wild. This is definitely within the foundation of all the shit that is wrong right now. They are definitely using Bitcoin for corruption. It's not even a question. It is 100% for certain. This administration is using cryptocurrency to facilitate corruption. Allegedly. Got to drop an allegedly in there. So anyways, let's watch CoffeeZilla talk about, please buy my Bitcoin, Mr. President.
Today I want to talk about Bitcoin, how the government has fully embraced it. And what's ironic is that the Bitcoin people who they started as anti-government, anti-central control, have now started to fully embrace it. And you've got a bunch of billionaires and all.
Yeah, this is the hypocrisy. We've talked about it before. The hypocrisy has no end.
Oligarchs that sort of control Bitcoin's community in a weird way. And I want to flag it. I want to flag the rise of Bitcoin strategic reserves, which are not strategy.
Yep. Speaking of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and tech billionaires, LB, Peter Thiel, and Palantir's database. I called that shit. I've been saying it the whole time. I said it's just like the Red Scare. It's their Hoover, dude. Palantir is currently being tapped by Donald Trump to build a database of Americans. You want to talk about where the hypocrisy never ends? These people would talk nonstop about free Edward Snowden. These people would talk nonstop about how the Patriot Act was bad. They talked nonstop about how the NSA had stolen all of our information. And they literally voted for a guy who wants to create a database on every single American. And he tapped the company that was already data mining us to do it. That's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy.
And the weird direction this is going. It's just ironic because of what Bitcoin sort of started out as a way to get around the government, get around censorship, things like that. But now that you have government starting to accumulate this stuff, you've got the increase of rich and powerful people starting to accumulate this stuff. The question is, what is it doing anymore? Is it even trying to achieve the same goals or?
No, it's not. It's trying now. It's a bunch of people that just want to get wealthy. That's all it is now. It's a bunch of crypto bros who think that they can ride the wave and get wealthy. the small amount of people at the beginning that were all about the blockchain and decentralized currency and all that stuff, those people are a very small percentage of the crypto bros now. Now it is nothing but people that they're like OTC people. They're people that watch The Wolf on Wall Street. It's them. They're people that like love Jordan Belfort and think Jordan Belfort is the greatest fucking person in the world.
Is it just about the price going up? So I first started thinking about this when I saw Bitcoin 2025. That's the annual conference where a lot of these enthusiasts get together.
Yeah, I think this is what I was talking about, the one that More Perfect Union went to.
And I really saw a huge uptick in the number of politicians who suddenly showed up saying they're true believers. They've always believed in the technology. They're all in on Bitcoin, and they say, look, it's going to the moon.
Where do you see Bitcoin?
See? It's going to the moon. That's all that matters.
In 2 years and in 5 years.
I think I sort of alluded to it earlier, but I think we're going to the moon, guys. I mean, it's going to be awesome.
Never trust anybody's fucking financial advice if they say the words to the moon. If they say the words, this is going to the moon, it's time to log the fuck off Twitter, because I guarantee that's where you heard it. And stop looking at that as fucking advice. If they tell you have diamond hands or hold the line, any of that shit, do not take financial advice from those people.
Just stay in, stay strong. We're like a
damn. Did I just call that? Did not pre-watch. He said, stay in, stay strong. Just say diamond hands, motherfucker. Just say hold the line. Holy shit.
Said, we're in it from all these different ways, whether it's Truth Social, whether it's what we're doing with American Bitcoin on the mining side, World Liberty Financial, on the DeFi platform stuff. I mean.
And did you guys see? So, once again, warring factions within the Trump administration. So, Trump's friend is the one who did the Trump meme coin, right? Fight, fight, fight. That's the name of that company. But World Liberty Financial, that is Trump's family's crypto financial base or whatever, right? So the friend who started the Trump meme coin just talked about starting the Trump wallet because it's going to be like the banking system. They want you to put money in the wallets, and then they get to use that money, and you get a percentage of interest off you putting it in that wallet. Now, the Eric Trump and Don Jr. at like 3 a.m. were tweeting at this guy that he better not do that because they're thinking about making a wallet and they're going to use that name and it's their family's name, so they will sue him if he does that. This is all just a fucking corrupt scheme, dude. There is nothing legit about any of this. This is a pump and dump scheme, man. It's 100% for certain. I would bet my fucking house on this. This is corruption, and it is a scheme.
We're true believers.
That's right, guys. True believers. They've been true believers for months now. Okay, they're hardcore.
Pink Bell knows.
Listen, with the obvious focus here of this whole conference was a lot, unfortunately, about price, numbers, to the moon. That's what a lot of this was centered around. It almost stretched.
Because they know these people are that fucking dumb. They know all they have to do is say that shit.
I love the poorly educated.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
The imagination to think of any other industry unironically saying we're going to the moon. Like, hey, where do you see
what about SpaceX?
Computers in 5 years? To the moon?
To the moon.
Where do you see AI? To the moon, bro. We're on the moon. You can't imagine. It doesn't make sense in any other context other than somehow crypto. This is sort of a normal thing to say. And if you thought that was the only example of that type of behavior, just wait until our next talk. Immediately, I was greeted by one of the Winklevoss twins, who you may remember as, making billions from Facebook. And they're on stage with David Sachs, who's the crypto czar of the government of the United States. That's who's up to answer some questions. And they sort of have to ask David an important question. This is the crypto czar. What do they ask?
Something about capital gains tax. No. I think it'd be great if the U.S. government started proactively acquiring Bitcoin.
What do you guys think about that?
Why do you think they're happy? Why do you think they say yes? Because the value of Bitcoin is determined by how much money is pumped into Bitcoin. So, of course, all of these people want the government to buy Bitcoin and create a strategic reserve because that adds a higher price point for the Bitcoin, right? Now, when people like Donald Trump own a Bitcoin, then that is the government literally using its own influence to increase the price of the Bitcoin for his personal financial gain. Think about that for 1 second, guys. Think about that. If you had a company that was owned by the government, if you could invest in the military, if you could invest in the military, and every 3 months, now we already do this, but let's act like it doesn't. Every 3 months or 4 months, they decided whether or not they wanted to increase the budget in the military, and they said yes, and they kept putting more and more money into this, which continued to pump the price up of the military stock. And then the president and senators and other politicians who were wealthy enough to be invested in it had money in it. That's fucking corruption. He controls the fucking reins, the policies that determine whether or not we investigate crypto crimes. He's already dropped all of them. It's fucking insane. Right in front of your fucking face. Donald Trump just announced that his Donald Trump media company is going to sell billions of dollars worth of stock, diluting the stock that is owned by people that own Truth Social stock, to buy Bitcoin in his private company. If he were to buy Bitcoin in his private company and then artificially inflate the price of Bitcoin by having the government pump money into it, he would then be able to sell that Bitcoin, make a bunch of fucking real fucking money at the expense of the American government when the price of Bitcoin goes down. Jesus fucking Christ, people. This is insane.
That's about as big a rise as Fire Gary Gensler are getting last summer.
So the question, the big applause break is, hey, can the government pump my bags?
There you go.
It's kind of what it comes down to. I mean, do the people at the conference really care if the American government has a bunch of Bitcoin or not? No, they care because that will generate price movement in the upward direction. So it's just such a departure. It's such a strange thing to beg Daddy Warbucks, who you've been saying this entire time you don't need them, you don't need the government, you hate the government. Now, the big applause break, the big thing that the two billionaire twins ask the crypto czar is, can you please buy my internet beans from me? The other strange implication I found weird about this whole thing is you have the Trump sons there as well. They have huge Bitcoin businesses now, a Bitcoin mining business. Then you have Trump Media Group raising $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Did not pre-watch.
It's a little strange. The only thing I can relate it to is there's a famous example of Jimmy Carter. He put his peanut farm into a blind trust so he wouldn't enrich himself. But imagine if Jimmy Carter then established a strategic peanut reserve to then pump the price of his farm's peanuts. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that's why the government established a strategic Bitcoin reserve.
I'm saying that there's a pretty good chance it is.
I'm saying that one effect of having first you buy a bunch of Bitcoin, right? And you get a bunch of Bitcoin businesses, and then you just have the government buy a bunch of Bitcoin. You're pumping your own bags with the taxpayer money. That's kind of weird. Now, I have to be clear that David Sachs maintained that the only way the government would buy Bitcoin for this Bitcoin reserve is if they did it in like a revenue neutral way where it wouldn't increase the debt. But I also have to be clear.
But bro, they just said fucking they weren't going to increase the debt when they were passing the big beautiful bill and all that shit. I fall for this shit too. I'm going to be honest, and I'm not going to fault CoffeeZilla for this. I'm not going to fault him for this because I fall into it too. But I keep doing this too where like I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe there's something going on here that I don't see. Maybe there's some reason that I'm an idiot and fucking, you know, like they know something I don't and everything's going to be all right. But the more they do shit, the more you're like, no, I don't think they do know what the fuck they're doing. I think they're just fucking stealing money. That's what it feels like. It feels like, no, I'm fucking right about this. They seem to be just stealing fucking money. So when he says that, he says, they only said they'd only do it if it's revenue neutral. They have, at this point, not proven that they will stick to any plan that includes not increasing the deficit. This is the whole reason you have Elon Musk versus Donald Trump in the news. It's because Elon's like, I thought that you said that we weren't gonna increase the deficit, so make comedy legal again. Fucking, and Donald Trump's like, I know, I'm playing golf. I'm golfing. Don't bother me. Pass the big beautiful bill. It's beautiful. That's. I would not trust him. I would not trust Donald Trump to not go to Sachs and say, buy the Bitcoin. Do it.
That you still are buying it. This revenue neutral way is just finding money that would have gone somewhere else, could have gone to anything. You could have bought NVIDIA stock in a revenue neutral way. You could have bought the S&P 500 in a revenue neutral way, just funnel it from one thing to another. So this whole thing is more about optics than it really is about the actual effect. It's just so people won't freak out thinking their taxpayer money is going to buy Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Even though
they don't
that's
fucking understand
sort of
it.
what's going on if you really pay attention.
So if we can convince Howard Lutnick, who's the Commerce Secretary, or Scott Bessent, who's the Treasury Secretary, to buy some, and they can figure out how to fund it, without a new tax or without adding to the debt, then maybe find the money from some other program that's
like Medicaid or Social Security. God damn it. What the fuck? I hate these people so much. Oh my God. Is there a fucking more despicable fucking set of human beings on the earth that has ever existed? These people are fucking gross. You have healthcare, dog. You have retirement. You're set for life. Your kids are set for life, and you still want more. And you want it at the expense of fucking everyday blue-collar, working-class Americans. Fuck you, man. Holy shit, these people are disgusting.
That's not using it, then we could potentially acquire more Bitcoin.
Yeah, cool, I guess. Again, the question is why Bitcoin over any other commodity other than price go up? I guess that's what everyone's just thinking. Look at the price of Bitcoin. It's always gone up, so it's always going to go up forever.
To the moon.
That's how these things work. And this is where I want to pivot to the Michael Saylor talk, where he sort of explicitly addresses this question of why Bitcoin over anything else. And he says, well, Bitcoin has outperformed the S&P 500.
Bitcoin. What gives you such strong conviction in that choice?
Well, Bitcoin's the only digital commodity. And if you're going to be a public company, then you need to be capitalized on a commodity. And Bitcoin is the first commodity in the history of the world that outperforms the S&P index on a consistent basis. So if you are a public company, it's a very simple choice. There's one best asset, and there is no second best asset. All right?
Woo, woo, woo. Hey, look, it's the guy selling a second best asset. If you don't know, Michael Saylor, who's famous for saying there is no second best asset, has gotten super rich from selling his company, Strategy. Which uses Bitcoin and wraps itself as sort of a Bitcoin vehicle, but with extra fees.
Yeah, you have an entire conference of people that are wealthy because they've used cryptocurrency to buy it and then sell it at the expense of other people. How are we supposed to take this in any way but that these are fucking con men, corrupt, wealthy con men that are just looking to continue to enrich themselves? This is the biggest pump and dump scheme that will have ever happened in the history of the world if this happens.
and other problems.
Hey, what's happening,
So
Merton?
it's very strange to hear him say that, but there's just this hilarious irony
Yeah,
that
I
even
do
if you
not disagree.
swallow the idea
I do
that there
not
is
disagree.
no second best asset, there's no other asset that's like Bitcoin, it will always outperform the S&P 500. Even if you believe that, it could continue to do that forever. You have to see the irony in Michael Saylor's whole shtick is selling his company and these convertible.
Oh my God. Can you guys imagine if fucking America's health and safety were dependent on the price of Bitcoin? Can you guys imagine? Okay, for those of you who don't buy stocks, right? Like you get to kind of be, you get to live outside of the world, the stress of having like a 401k or having like a E-Trade or Robinhood account. You kind of get to live outside of that. Wake up in the morning and look at your stocks to see if they're red or they're green. You know, worrying about whether or not you should sell or if you just should buy the dip. But can you imagine if the entire country had to live that life of today we woke up and Bitcoin dropped $40,000 and you're like, okay, fuck everybody in America. Real fucking sad today. And then experiencing that like every once in a while euphoria of being like, holy fuck, it's going up a lot, guys, man, we're gonna be wealthy, we're gonna be rich, this is gonna be amazing, and then waking up 2 days later and being like, nope, we're back to being poor again. I don't need that stress in my life, guys. I already trade, I already have stocks, I already have a 401k. It's not a life that you guys want to live. You do not want your happiness as far as like the country's health being based on the price of Bitcoin. This is a bad fucking idea.
Bonds as a way to get access to Bitcoin.
Oh my God.
When you could really argue there was a reason to do this back when it was harder to get access to Bitcoin. Now that there's a bunch of ETFs with this stuff, by the way, this is just a press announcement. They're constantly buying Bitcoin. That's Michael Saylor's whole thing. And you'll see that the price of Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, relatively, MicroStrategy has sort of blown up as people have used it to speculate on the price of Bitcoin. But what people don't know is that while Michael Saylor gets incredibly rich, all of these companies who've done this thing where like they make themselves like Bitcoin, but just a company that holds Bitcoin, like they're not doing much anymore. Michael Saylor's software business does very little compared to the amount of Bitcoin they're hoarding up, right? So they're really a Bitcoin wrapper. There's multiple companies trying to do this now to make themselves attractive in that way. The problem is you could just buy Bitcoin, or you could buy their thing where you have a bunch of CEOs getting paid, a bunch of workers getting paid, a bunch of dilution.
But people don't understand how to buy Bitcoin. And that's what they're trying to take advantage of. They're trying to take advantage of people that don't understand how any of this works and think that they need some type of intermediary for them to purchase it. It's like StubHub. Holy fuck. StubHub is a perfect example. So a long time ago, I bought tickets. What did I buy tickets to? I think it was Disney on Ice for my kids, right? And I jumped on StubHub, but I didn't know that. I just Googled, right? I Googled buy tickets for Disney on Ice. And the first link was a fucking StubHub. And I didn't know that. And when I got on there, I was like, man, these fucking tickets are stupid expensive. Holy shit, these are expensive. And I was like, well, I want to take my kids to this, so I'm going to buy them. I bought them. And then I was looking up stuff like, why is it so expensive? And people were like, don't buy your tickets off StubHub. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I found the link to where to buy the actual tickets. And I realized that I could buy like front row seat tickets for the same price that I paid for these like up in the nosebleeds section. So I just turned around and put them back on fucking StubHub, sold them, and then went back and bought them from the legitimate production site and got better tickets for the same price. That's kind of the same thing. Is like when you don't know how things work, you are prone to be scammed. I now know about StubHub. I now know that it's the first link that pops up because Google's being paid for that link to pop up. And now I know to go and look at, the actual site to buy these tickets from and stuff, right? But that's how the crypto thing with intermediaries work, is that like you're just like literally you think, oh, this is how I buy Bitcoin, and you don't realize you're paying fees and stuff to these people.
Other compensation, and you're just missing out. It's just a strange thing. So it's funny that they're like, there's no second best asset. Here's another people who did the Bitcoin strategic announced strategy. That's the whole thing with Trump media as well. It's just impossible to justify these things as anything but worse than the commodity itself if what you think is actually great about the thing is the commodity. It's like buying a company that hoards gold instead of just buying the gold yourself. Now you're taking fees because the guys who run it have to get paid. The fees, logistics, they have to get paid. They're going to take a spread on the acquisition fee. And then at the bottom line, when the company goes bankrupt, is that really your goal? The same question can be stated about Bitcoin as well. So all these the irony is the people on stage at Bitcoin 2025 saying there's no such thing, no second best asset, they've gotten incredibly wealthy selling something other than the thing. It just goes to the lack of clarity and lack of a mission in the Bitcoin 2025 conference outside of price is the thing. It will outperform the S&P 500 as long as the government can keep buying it, as long as we can get new buyers in this thing. It's so strange and departed from the sort of original thing, which I guess, the original buyers, I guess by definition, were sort of more in it for the technology, the philosophy of it. And it has just become a shell game of like, how much higher can we pump the price? Now, that being said, I want to be clear. Unlike some people who prognosticate on the imminent collapse of Bitcoin to $0, I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to tell you that the price isn't going to go up. I don't know what the price is going to do. In fact, the government might be buying Bitcoin. I don't know. Right? I don't know what you should do
people in the government
with your money. I know you shouldn't give it to these guys. Right? Anybody wearing an orange hat with a company, beware. I also know that we're not in the first inning. This is something that people in crypto like to say is like, we're literally so early. The government's talking about Bitcoin. The president's buying Bitcoin. We're not, I don't know if we're in the last inning, but we're not in the first inning.
No. We often talk about baseball games as being sort of the metric for how early things are, and we're literally in the first inning.
No, we're
and
not.
Let me tell you, this game's going to overtime. So,
look at the.
Oh man, yeah, that was clean. Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I love the poorly educated. I love Tesla.
Audience, this game's going to overtime.
Oh my
God.
Listen,
do you guys actually, does anybody believe this stuff? I don't know if he even believes it, or is that just something the company, you have to say as a guy with a company attached to crypto. But what would it take to get in the second inning? Okay, if the president buying Bitcoin didn't get you in the second inning, what will? This is such a stupid comment on so many levels. You can actually look at the market cap of all of the world's assets, and you can see gold's number 1. Bitcoin is number 6. It's only behind by a factor of 10, which if it keeps improving at the current rate, like how much higher do you guys think this stuff can go? It's already worth more than Google, Silver, Vanguard, Meta, and only trailing behind some of the most valuable companies mankind has ever created. And gold itself. I mean, it's just so insane to be like, yeah, we're in the first inning. You're definitely not. And what's funny about this whole exchange is even David Sachs seems to realize.
So you understand why he's saying that. He's saying it's in the first inning because he wants people to believe that they are getting into this at the beginning. We are definitely not. So the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy, this guy. The Rich Dad Poor Dad guy, right? Robert Kiyosaki, right? Says a lot of different things that I agree with, things that I don't agree with, just like with any human being out there. But I think it was him who said the reason that he thought the price of Bitcoin getting to where it is now was a bad thing was because now it's going to have a higher bar of entry. So he looked at Bitcoin as being something that could create wealth for people that were like middle class or lower middle class or upper middle class. And he's saying now, because the price is so high, that the bar of entry is too high to start creating generational wealth for middle class people. It is not the first inning, but I get why he's telling people it's the first inning, because it's very important to tell people, no, you should vote for the things that I'm telling you to. You should support the things I'm telling you to support, because you could get wealthy too. You as well could be a part of this great change in America where we're all going to be rich. That is never the case, has never been the case, and will never be the case. They're telling you it's the first inning because they think you're a rube and they love the poorly educated.
I love the poorly educated.
Is that it's kind of a stupid analogy. So he says, I don't really want to think about this in terms of price or something like this. I want to measure this in terms of innovation.
Yep, Merton, you are not
But then
wrong.
Immediately gives a nod, which is, again, about the price.
I don't want to measure, what we accomplish exactly through price levels. I guess I want to measure it through innovation levels, but I will say that I did notice that Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high the other day, and that was great to see.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Pause for applause. Like, come on, man. This is not an anti-Bitcoin video. This is hey, grifters are invading you guys, and it's all about the businesses the guys on stage own that are going to benefit from the government, different people getting involved, and just hyping this forever, right?
Oh my
the people
God.
on stage, almost all of them, have Bitcoin investments somewhere. I think David Sachs may be the only person who says he divested from all his crypto, but the Winklevoss twins, Michael Saylor, the Trumps, like all of these guys will hugely be benefited by the price going up forever and your taxpayer money being spent to pump prices. When, to be clear, that was never the point of crypto in the first place.
Yeah, like I said, you guys remember like a year ago when all these people were talking about decentralizing from the government, when they're like, no, man, you don't understand, man, like the government being involved, and like they can take your money and all that, man, you don't. Like, it's so much better, dude, if, like, we get, like, Shibatoshi Nakatomi, brother. Like, you guys know? Like, oh, my God, dude. And I think that those people probably still exist somewhere out there that are probably, like, going, like, no, it's okay. Like, we want big people to be involved. We do. It's the only way that it's going to work out. It's been inevitable. But, God damn, it is so strange to watch these people. They are the biggest hypocrites in the world. MAGA are the biggest hypocrites that have ever fucking existed. And I say that with complete and utter confidence. It's insane. They are the biggest hypocrites that have ever existed.
Governments could hoard it. So it's all nonsensical and antithetical to the original mission of this stuff in the first place, which I think is what makes it so incoherent and fascinating to watch. It's bizarre the way it's become sort of cultish. And look, I don't even blame the OG crypto guys for this. I think a lot of times they probably feel their own movement has been co-opted, as most things do when you have kind of crazy price runs like this. People just become obsessed with the price. But it's just a very strange thing, and I want to warn you guys against these announcements of these Bitcoin reserves. Oh, Tesla, Clurl, Rumble, everybody's doing a Bitcoin reserve because it seems cool, guys.
And you notice that they're all the same types of companies. They all donate to the same people. Dude, this is such a scam, dude.
It's not a strategy,
Holy
right?
shit.
To just say price go up, right? You have to have an idea of what you're going to do with it. It's not clear what these companies are doing. There's ways to hedge for inflation. Even the people who are like, we're just hedging for inflation. There are ways to do that aren't sexy. You could buy some tips, okay? Look it up. They're not going to do that because there's no headline in it, right?
Yeah.
They're selling you something, and you have to be aware of this.
And I think as Merton just said, when somebody tells you to buy, that's the time to sell. 100%. Like, if you got people that are, like, making fucking speeches, going to conventions. Like, this is a tale as old as time, man. This goes all the way back to like Amway and pyramid schemes, fucking Enron. If you got a guy coming to your house, sitting down with you, telling you about how this is going to make you rich, you are the mark. You're not in on the plan. You are the one being scammed. You are the mark. If the guy is sitting in front of you at your house going, hey man, like, check it out. I'm trying to cue you in on this because, brother, I want you to be rich too. I want you to be a part of this. I want you to have a yacht. I want you to take the vacations. When they look at your wife, that's the best part. And they go, I want her to be able to buy whatever clothes she wants. That's right. Honey, you want a new handbag, don't you? Like, see, your wife wants a new handbag. I bet you'd like a new sports car, wouldn't you? If there is a person telling you these things, get the fuck out of there. Like now. Like now. This is fucking code red. Fucking, you are about to have your anus prolapsed. That's all I'm saying. That's the best way I can put it.
Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I thought this speech was just insane to be like, hey, could you buy my Bitcoin, please? Please, Dad? Please, government, the guys we fought against forever, please, can you buy my Please buy my Bitcoin.
What the fuck
Weird
is going on?
And cringe. And I think that's not an indictment of everyone who owns Bitcoin, but certainly the people who are, applauding as Michael Saylor, the guy selling you the second best asset, is telling you there's only one best asset. Guys, it's a sales pitch. That's all I'm going to say.
Jeez.
It was high time.
Oh, there we go. Oh, guys. It's the most corrupt government that has ever existed, and that is saying something, guys. That is saying something. The most corrupt government that has ever existed. That is saying something. Alti, what's up, Alti? You bought $62 of Bitcoin in 2012. What's that worth now? Congrats, Alti. Alti, I had a chance to buy CoreWeave. Oh my god, I'm so mad. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to end the show, but I'm going to tell you guys a couple fucking sob stories. So I did buy NVIDIA at 80. And I did make some money off NVIDIA. I saw the news on CoreWeave, and I believe that's the news was around AI agents. I could be wrong about that. Oh, no, it was to do with them working with NVIDIA. And I didn't buy it at 80, and it was 150 the other day. I didn't buy Palantir when it was 80 because morally, I just could not put my money into a company that is literally putting together a database on all of us. And that's at 130 now. God damn it, man. Just don't buy stocks. That's not financial advice. Just don't buy stocks. It's not a fun world to live in, to be honest. It's very stressful. All right, guys. Well, let's go. Let's go, Big Me. Well, guys, I was looking forward to this stream. It was really fun. I had a great time. You guys are awesome. It was well worth talking about. We'll see where this goes with the bromance, the bro cup. How do you put breakup and bro in there? The bro cup? Nah, that doesn't work. We'll figure it out. The brovorce. We're gonna have to work on this one. Damn. Brovorce is pretty good. Brovorce is, it's on there. Anyways, we'll work on that. So thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you guys all being here and doing your things. Elon not there at the UFC 316. No Elon. All right. Yeah, I did see the news on LARA, but after we watch Dude Vorce. That's a pretty good one. After watching that protester get ran over at the protest, I think we're going to save that for another night to talk about because we already talked a little bit about it. And yeah, I can't end my night with more of that right now. That was very sad. That was very sad. So yeah, you guys, if you don't know what RA is talking about, the Los Angeles protest, please go check them out. In fact, here I'll link the video for you guys. Here's an ABC News video on it, in case you guys want to go watch it. RA, good call. Good call, RA. That is a ABC News video on the protests in Los Angeles that I believe 41 people were arrested last time I checked, and a person was ran over by an ICE agent. So you guys should check that out. Oh, Newsom just said something new. Oh, no. I didn't know anything about a new protest. Well, I'll check it out. All right. All right. Okay, well, I guess that's something to look into when I go upstairs. All right, guys. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Like I said, and I've said this whole thing, is you make a fucking difference. Please don't stop. Please don't stop talking. Please be unapologetically loud. Please stop letting these people silence your voices. You do make a difference. You have made a difference, and you will continue to make a difference as long as you are speaking up and speaking out. So thank you guys so much for everything you guys have done, and just know that I appreciate everything when you guys show up, when you guys share the videos, when you guys join the Angry Ginger Army, when you guys donate, all those things. I appreciate all that shit so much. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And don't forget.
Yeah, you effin' with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word. P-word. P-word is female genitalia.
Who explains sexual harassment to you and me? Sexual harassment, panda.
Love you guys. All right. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.